knew that Hicks, he did mostly the road.
Right.
And he did like these real shitholes.
Yeah.
As good as he was, I always thought that like shitholes made shitty comics.
Right.
But Hicks kind of changed my mind about that. Like you could do great comedy in front of shitty rooms.
Right. And
just
win them
sort it out.
over.
Yeah.
That's really something. That's really what it is. Because if you let the room change you, you can become a shitty comic that way. But if you go, no, I'm going to flip them, but on my terms.
Yeah.
That's a lost art also, because if you're big, you have your own fans and stuff, that doesn't come into play. But if you're good and you're on the road, you don't have your own fans. It's like you have to like keep just working them. Working them. I was at the Atlanta Punchline and this happened, where it was the crowd, they didn't know me, and there was a drunk woman. It's my birthday! It's my birthday! Like making it about her. And like younger in comedy, I would have just bailed and just tried to score off of her and win and just, do a penalty kill. Just play the set out that way and walk away with the victory. But I decided, you know what, let me neutralize her. I don't want to make it about her. She's being selfish. Stay in the pocket, and I hadn't won the other people over yet. They were still on the fence about who's this guy. So it's like just keep coming, and then working them and bringing them to you and neutralize her because she's a distraction, and just keep bringing them. And at the end, like it was good. It was a good set. But I got off stage. I was like, oh my God, that was so much work, and nobody's going to know about it. No one's going to know what happened here. And I walked to the bar, and there's a couple of comics at the bar, and one guy looks at me and goes, I saw what happened. He goes, I saw what you did. That was great. That was masterful. I go, at least one witness. I got one witness who saw what it was.
Who knows like what it is and how hard it is to do.
It's my birthday.
Oh God, there's so many of them out there.
It's really something. You just go to karaoke. What are you doing? Just go to karaoke.
Some lady was fucking up Ron White's set the other night in our club. She yelled out, "Can I get a picture with you?" She kept saying that in the middle of his fucking bits. Like he'd be in the middle of the setup. You hear, "Can I get a picture with you?" Oh, it's the worst.
And it's really something, because the crowd's not on your side and you come too hard at her. You know what I mean? Then they're going to be like, whoa, what is this guy? This guy's angry now? It's like they kind of don't get the dynamic of what's happening. But if you just stand there like, miss, I love you. I don't want you to get kicked out, Just sit like, and eventually she just went to the bathroom anyway and just whatever.
Did coke.
Something. I think she was on it before. Maybe did more coke. Yeah.
It's funny how you remember those sets like that. Like one set that you could like, that was a breakthrough moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like the fact that it's like, oh, I know it, and I doubt anybody else is going to know it, but whatever, I know it.
Do you ever stop and think, like, what if you didn't break up with that girl? Like, what if you were still in that relationship and you never pursued comedy?
Yeah. All the time.
Fuck.
All the time.
Oh my God.
And but you know what? I would have been married. I would have had kids, whatever. And I just would have lived that life. It was a fork in the road. You know what I mean? It was really sad because I was teaching at the times, working at a behavioral school, and I was with her, and I was like, oh, this is probably how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
I don't have that in the thing in me to go out and get spots, because going out and getting spots is like, you have to go out and you have to hustle.
Yeah.
I was already working hard in my job and trying to get my master's. I was on a different path. So I didn't have that extra in me to go and try to get, spots at clubs and stuff.
So when you say that, like, at that moment, did you kind of you weren't in a good place, right?
She broke up with me, and I was really, really, we dated in college, and then she's from Philadelphia, so I hadn't no ties to Philadelphia. So I moved to Philadelphia to try to find a job, be with her. She was in law school. And so, yeah, that's what it was.
I hope she watches you on YouTube now.
I mean, I think she's got a good life. She was a good person. She had her head on her shoulders, and she was a good.
It's okay.
Yeah. It hurt though, man. It hurt,
sure.
And it's heartbreak like that causes you to go, oh yeah, I gotta. It makes you raw. It makes you raw. It makes you go like, I'm gonna go out and take some chances and
do what I really want to do.
Figure my life out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, if it would have been a thing where I would have been successful right away, then it would have been, oh my God, yeah, it's different. But it's been I've had wins along the way. This is a big win, by the way. But it's like wins along the way. It's like that gradual. I thought I'd move to New York, and it's like, I'll be a star or I'll just get a job. I didn't realize that it was going to be this incremental thing where it's like, get a Tonight Show.
Yeah.
That's good. Last Comic Standing. That's good. NBC time, you know? It's like, this happens. Montreal Comedy Festival. It's like gradual throughout the years.
Yeah.
So that becomes your life. You know what I mean?
I describe it to people like making a mountain one layer of paint at a time.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, that really is. Build it out. Yeah.
It's so
But you
slow.
don't think that. I
No.
didn't think that at the beginning. I thought, oh, I'll just go and I'll win or I'll fail. Either way, it's like even if I fail, I'm in New York. I'll figure it out in New York, you know? But yeah, I didn't see this. I didn't see that the incremental steps that it takes. And you know, as a comic after that, like any girl like that, I was so protective. And I think a lot of comics are that way over my career.
Yeah.
Like nothing comes in the way of this. Nothing comes in the way. It's like, you know, I'm not going to sacrifice any of my time for anything else. I'm in this.
Well, because it's so fun when it works.
Yeah.
And the idea of making a living off of doing that is so exciting.
Yes.
That you think like, I can't let anything get in the way of this. And relationships would get in the way of this. Like in the early days, I dated girls who were like, you don't have to go up tonight. I was like, oh, I don't?
Yeah.
Like, yes, I do. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, if you could kill, you would know this. You would, if you know what it feels like to go up there and hit a punchline and have the whole room fall out.
Right.
That's a wild feeling.
Yeah, it really is.
And not a lot of people ever get to experience that.
And it is an art. It's an art form. It's an art form to be able to do that, especially over an hour.
Yeah, it's a real art form. It's an art form that sounds like you're just talking. So it's kind of underappreciated because everybody can just talk.
Right.
And most people are funny sometimes.
Yeah.
So you see somebody up there and you're like, I could kind of do that.
Right.
And so you don't really respect it unless someone's just fucking murdering.
Right.
It's a funny thing to do with your life. And man, it tests the shit out of you in the beginning, because in the beginning it just doesn't. There was many times where I was like, "This is never gonna happen." Like I'd bomb,
right?
And I'd go back home, fucking massively depressed in whatever shitty apartment I was in, going, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Todd Lynn, who was a comic back in the day, passed away since, but he used to say it's like dating a really hot girl with really bad breath. That's what I'm like. God, he really described it perfectly.
Sort of, but you could brush her teeth. Say, hey, baby, I love you to death. Your fucking breath is whack.
Yeah.
You know, there's something you could do about that. But comedy, it's just like, it's the whims. It's the crowd. It's who's on before you.
Yeah.
It's where you're at in your life.
Right. Right. That's all true. And it's a process. Mm-hmm. I learned that from wrestling too. Like wrestling, like I was good for my area. Like I learned to wrestle in Ohio, and then, which is a great state. We had a great program, and then I moved to Florida, and I finished high school in Florida. So I wrestled down there, and it's like I was so focused. I don't know how you were as a competitor, but I was so focused on the win. I wanted to get the win. I wanted to get. It's like yeah. It's not, and I would psych myself out before matches a lot of times by overthinking it, you know? And it's like, no. It's about the process.
Yeah.
It's about the process. Train hard. And then, but when it's time to compete, then I wish I would have had this back then. It's like, you have to just get yourself up and go out there and just do the things that you train to do.
Yeah.
And I was too focused on I want to win. I want to feel the victory. It's like, I want to win. It's like, no. It's the process. Stick to the process. But I wish I would have had that before I went out and competed. Like, go out there and just cut through this guy. I didn't have that attitude. I was tired from cutting weight. And, you know, when you go to these tournaments, when you wrestle, you weigh in. You'd weigh in, and then you would go have breakfast. And then there's a time where you just digest and lay around on the mat a little bit, and then start slowly drilling and getting ready for the match. And during that time is when you should be getting your mind right to go out there and, like, take it to them. Yeah. And the guys who were successful did that. Yeah. And I couldn't see it back then. But looking back and having perspective on it, it's like, I wish I was that. So now I keep that in mind in stand-up, you know, because a lot of stand-up is that, you know, being mentally prepared to go up.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I always tell comics, like, don't go up, don't just go cold. Like,
right.
Warm your mind up.
Right.
I pace around, I breathe deep, I stretch out, I go over my notes. Like, maybe you don't need to do that, but you should. It's just like good for the head. Just get your mind right.
What do you think about before you go up? I mean, you're working these arenas now, these gigantic venues. So what do you think about before you go up?
Well, arenas, one of the things that I do is I have index cards. So I write out before, I'll get there early, and I'll write out like just bullet points of all the sets or all the bits, and I'll put them on cards.
Right.
I'm like, this is on this subject, this is on that subject, and I'll lay them out on a coffee table. And writing that out just like cements it all in my head, solidifies it all in my head. And then it's just about getting fired up. By the time I'm getting to an arena, though, my set is rock solid. I don't.
Yeah.
That means I've done the clubs, I developed the hour,
Right.
and then I went to theaters, and I started feeling it.
Oh, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, by the time you can't just go up in front of 16,000 people not knowing whether or not it's going to go well.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be tuned in and ready to go, and you gotta go out there with a lot of energy because these people like. They got fucking babysitters.
Yeah.
They bought the tickets a long time in
Right.
advance. It's a big deal for them. You got to treat it like it's very important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just opening for Nate Bargatze, my friend who put my special on. Theater is a different, especially than the New York City clubs, because it's intimate in New York.
Right.
And on the road even. But it's like those theaters, it's like it can be overwhelming. And there's a lot of space to fill, it feels like.
Yeah, it's a
with the
different
low
timing.
ceilings, it's like a different different vibe.
Yeah, it's a different vibe with more people. It's a different vibe with the bigger area, like you said, with the high ceilings. And it's also you're not connected to them. It's a show. You're up there.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really like is the round. When you do arenas in the round, because believe it or not, it's kind of intimate. Because even though there's like 16,000 people, there's people all around you,
right? And
you're looking at them, and they're looking at the other people on the other side too. So it's this like big circle of people,
right?
And it's oddly intimate. It's as weird as that sounds.
That's really something. I know when I go, I was very connected to my jokes. I'm like, this is all about these jokes. It's all about these jokes. I'd fine tune them and everything. But then I started to realize the preparation is about your jokes, but it's also about two things. One, going up and having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like have fun with it. You did all the preparation. Now go up and be playful with them. Go up and be playful and be loose. I have to tell myself that because I'm connected to that. I'm just like, let's go to the jokes. And the other thing I started doing before I would go up is what you said. Love the crowd. Love them. Like, love them because they have hard lives. They're going through divorce, bankruptcy, all kinds of like problems. And they came out to get a break from that. And like in my joke writing, I would forget that. I was like, this is about the joke. It's about me. It's like, no. Connect with them because they maybe need a break in their life, and be playful and, love them before you go up. That always helps. Even if the set goes bad and you have that mindset going up, it's much easier. It's much easier to deal with.
Isn't it interesting that stand-up is such a big thing in terms of like how many people go to see it and how many people love it and, how many shows there are on the country at any given time. It's a huge art form in terms of like how many people pay for it. But very few people share how they do it, and no one teaches it.
Right.
It's like no one can teach you how to do your way because your way is different than Nate's way.
Right.
Nate's way is different than Ari Shafir's way. Like everybody's got their own style and their own thing, and you kind of got to teach yourself. And all these things you're saying, like knowing how to just go out and love those people, have a good time, be playful. Like you got to learn that on your own.
But that's my thing because I'm connected to the jokes. Like if you're a guy with a ton of charisma and no act, like you have a different set of struggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that my thing is like, don't be too connected, be loose with the jokes. And as I've had more experience, it's easier. Obviously you get your stage presence down.
It's a long, brutal process. And it's funny that the mindset of a competitor, like your mindset of, that can kind of get in the way sometimes.
You think?
Because you get so focused on, like you're saying, like the jokes, and you got to realize like, no, this is a fun thing that you're doing. Like you can't get too intense about it.
Right. That's absolutely true. And the guys I've seen, the top level wrestlers that I've seen, the discipline I came from, the guys who are super, super good, like Cale Sanderson, that guy, it's like when he wrestles, I went down a rabbit hole, was watching his NCAA finals matches. He just looks fluid. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm thinking that intense, but when a guy at that level goes out and wrestles, he just looks like he's flowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There doesn't seem to be any tension in his body whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the guys who are really good, I found, do that.
Yeah.
They just flow.
They're efficient.
They're efficient, and he was like, and the guys who are really good, offensive machines. Like they'll set something up, and then just go to another thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Fluid, like water. You know?
Yeah, I feel like wrestling is one of those things that is one of the most difficult sports to compete in, and yet one of the most underappreciated in terms of like public perception. There's no real professional avenue other than like MMA or pro wrestling, which is like entertainment. But it's so hard to do. It's kind of interesting how many sports become really popular, and in terms of like being something that people pay to see. But wrestling never did that.
Right.
It never connected. It's weird.
No, I could see that. I could see why, though. I could see it just because if you to the untrained eye, it just looks like two guys especially if the two guys are at a high level, it's very like strategic what they're doing, and sometimes there could be not much action because they're just trying to get position, and the other guy's so good at staying in position, it's like it can be like a standoff that way. So I understand why it's not entertaining to the eye a lot of times.
I kind of do, but I kind of feel like it could have been. It feels like, I mean, how's baseball popular?
I do not. I'm not a baseball guy at all.
I don't get it.
Neither do
I appreciate it if people play it. I appreciate it if you love it, but for me, I just do not understand why that's entertaining.
Yeah.
And yet it's the big American pastime.
Right.
It's a funny thing. Like wrestling is way more exciting than that.
Well, I root for all the wrestlers in the MMA.
Oh yeah,
the UFC.
How
It's
can you
like
not?
it's like because it's like entertainment. I root for all the stand-ups. If a stand-up guy is going against an improv guy for a job, I'm rooting stand-up.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to root for the discipline that you came from.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know?
And wrestling's the most important discipline for MMA.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's the foundation because the wrestler can dictate where the fight takes place. You know, if the wrestler chooses to stand, he can stand. If the wrestler wants to get back up, he can get back up.
Right.
And the wrestler knows how to take the guy down. Whereas, like, even though every fight starts standing up, and it's a big advantage for the striker while they're standing up, with the wrestler, if the wrestler knows how to strike, the striker has to think about two different things simultaneously.
Yeah.
Has to think, maybe this guy's going to shoot, and what if this guy punches me? What if this guy kicks me?
Right.
So there's like so many more options that the wrestler has, and there's that threat of the takedown that looms large that like paralyzes guys with anticipation. It's the most important foundation. It's everything in MMA. If you can't wrestle, good luck, because unless you can land a wild shot like Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren, unless you get that wild shot off right away and knock the guy out, it's a long night against one of the best wrestlers.
Right. And that wild shot, are you going to be able to do that every time?
Most likely no.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at like overall success rate, wrestlers have a huge percentage of wins in MMA. And the really good guys like Bo Nickel, like right away you see him dominating guys with like all this experience.
Right.
Because his skill set, that one skill that he has wrestling, he's so much better than everybody else.
Yeah.
That it's just a massive advantage.
And the training, like I took Taekwondo when I was young, and it's like forms and, punches and kicks and forms. But when I started wrestling in eighth grade wrestling practice was so intense that I thought that the coach was punishing the football players I thought, are we being punished for like 2 months? I had to check it on my friend. He's like, no, this is just what it is.
Yeah.
And it's so.
I wrestled 1 year in high school, and I couldn't believe how hard it was. I would remember going home, and my legs were so sore after running stadium stairs that I could barely walk.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucking horrible. And like then I'd go to class, and I was so tired from wrestling that I was like, Jesus Christ, like how does anybody do this?
Yeah, it was nuts. And then the cutting weight also, which I'm sure you had to make weight for competition. It's like, and we didn't know anything back then. It's just like, go eat pasta and just like eat less. There was no like science behind any of it.
And you weighed in the day of the match too, which is terrible.
Terrible.
One of the best things about the UFC is that they cut weight the day before. I hate cutting weight, period.
Right.
My opinion on cutting weight for fighting is that it's sanctioned cheating. Like, you're not really 170 pounds.
Right.
You're 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But you dry yourself out the week of, and then 24 hours in, you're losing 12, 13 pounds.
Right.
and then you rehydrate like crazy. Like, what is this stupid thing that they're doing 24 hours before a cage fight?
Yeah.
You're literally almost dying.
Well, some guys are just naturally close to their weight. I wrestle with guys like that who are just like 3 or 4 pounds above the weight. Just they have very low body fat.
Yeah.
I wasn't like that. I was like a bulky guy and husky. And it's like, that means, you got to cut a lot of weight to get that muscle mass that the other guys might have naturally.
Yeah, to make the optimal weight, like body weight for competing.
Right, because if you wrestle at a high, people just go wrestle at a higher weight. It's like then you're wrestling guys who've cut down from a higher weight, and they're going to just be stronger.
Yeah, it's a big advantage if you could do it right. Like this weekend is Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira, and Pereira, who beat Adesanya in the last fight, is fucking huge for 185. Like, I stand next to him, like, how the fuck is this guy 15 pounds lighter than me? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
He's fucking huge. But when he gets into the cage on fight day, he's 225.
It's in boxing, too. I'm a huge boxing fan.
Me too.
And I live by the Garden. I go see Lomachenko anytime he's at the Garden.
Oh,
I go see him fight. He's unreal. But it's like he's going to fight Devin Haney.
That's a great fight.
But it's a great fight. I'm so happy it's happening.
Yeah, I'm so
at 135.
excited about
But Haney, I think, cuts down from 150, 160, something like that. He's walking around. And but that's just
Loma's tiny.
Loma's a smaller guy.
Yeah, he's much smaller than those guys. And that you saw that in the Teofimo Lopez fight. Like, Lopez is big,
huge,
scary.
Yeah.
It's just that power is just such a big advantage for a big guy who cuts a lot of weight to get to 35.
Right. But Loma won't go down. He won't go down to 130. He's like, nah, I want the challenge. I think he wants a challenge. A lot of these Ukraine, these Eastern Bloc guys, like they want the smoke, man. They want the challenge.
They do, but I was a little disappointed in his perceptions of the Lopez fight after he lost. Like, he thought he won that fight. I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, you could see halfway through the fight, his corner must have been telling him, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because he picked up the pace like halfway through that fight. It was too late, obviously.
He made adjustments, and he had a big 11th round.
Yeah.
I remember in the 11th, he was really putting it on him, and I was like, oh, man, maybe Loma's going to take this.
Yeah.
And then the 12th, Lopez came out strong.
Right.
That kid has such a hard jab, too. It's such a dangerous jab to get through.
He came out at the beginning of the fight and established it. You know what I mean? I remember that, and it's like, wow. And Lomo, it takes him 2-3 rounds to download what the guy's doing. He doesn't. He's a slower starter because he just kind of like is measuring him, and almost to the point you're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're like unskilled, like I'm just a fan, but it's like he does that for 2 or 3 rounds, and then he just like, oh, I figured it out, and then picks it up and picks the guy apart.
It's too bad that he's so small. Because if he was larger in like a natural 135 or a natural 140 or something like that, there's so many big fights for him, and it would be really exciting to see. Yeah. But to see a guy like that, we really should be fighting 130.
Yes.
Going up against these guys that are cutting down from 150, 155, it's just a big advantage.
But there's a lot of guys at 135 who are very, very tough. The Tank Ryan fight.
Oh yeah, that's
can't wait to see that.
Ooh,
I'm so happy
fight.
That got made.
Yeah, me too. I'm really interested. Like, I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy is so unusual.
Yeah,
his style's so unusual, and his like patience.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician. He's great, Mexican style, but he's also a technician. And that fight was very close before Tank stopped him.
Yeah.
But he has that power that can end it.
But he finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can fucking crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
But the thing is, can you rely on that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because at the end, that Pitbull Cruz fight, it's like that was very close. Pitbull Cruz is a tough guy, Mexican, just staying in the pocket with him. You know what I mean? So it's like a Deontay Wilder thing where it's like you're just waiting on that one punch, but it's like you can't lose every round up to that either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see because there's so many good guys.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur
Devin
Stevens was
Haney.
at 130. I'd like to see him and Lomachenko.
Yes.
Even the guy that Lomachenko just beat, Ortiz, which was a sparring partner years ago.
Yeah.
He looked great. I was at that fight.
Yeah.
He looked unreal.
Yeah, he looked unreal. But for Lomachenko, that was a great adjustment after the Lopez fight too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he really looked like he's coming.
Yeah.
And he apparently had some shoulder surgery
Yes, he was
too.
hurt. Yeah. I think he got hurt halfway through the Teofimo fight, to be honest. I think he hurt a hand or a shoulder. He wasn't himself.
Yeah, well,
Not that Teofimo fought unbelievably.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And then you see what Kambosos did to Teofimo.
Yeah.
And then you see what Devin Haney did to Kambosos, 2 fights in a row.
Right,
Like,
right.
Jesus Christ, there's
Went
levels.
to Australia. I mean, I think that's a lot.
Yes.
He deserves a lot of credit for
Fuck
that.
yeah. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. There's him and Lomachenko is going to be very
It's
interesting.
a great fight.
Very, very interesting.
Very technical fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's so many good fighters now. It's a really good time for boxing. And finally, they're making the Terrence Crawford-Errol Spence fight.
For June 17th,
Yeah,
right?
finally.
But I'm following that like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like they tried to do that before, so I don't get too excited.
I don't know
until
why,
they actually make
what's
it.
going on with that. That
I
was
mean-
weird. Like when Terrence decided to fight that other dude for his last fight, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? Like, I thought you were gonna fight Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Like, now it's all falling apart."
Yeah.
And, you know, luckily they made it though. So if it's signed and ready to go for
But
June,
it's not signed yet, is it?
I don't know. I mean, they're
Yeah.
announcing it. They're talking.
They're
about
announcing it. They're announcing they have plans
They do
for it.
weird shit with
Yeah.
boxing like that, like Usyk and Tyson Fury. I thought it was a done deal. Like, look, it's happening, and now it gets to this point where Tyson Fury is like, "I want 70%. I'm the fucking Gypsy King. I want
Yeah.
70%." And Usyk's like, "Okay, 70%," and it still fell apart. Like,
He
I don't-
offered him 70-30.
yeah, and he took it.
I didn't think that Usyk. No one thought Usyk was going to take that. He goes, "No, I'll take it."
Yeah, he wants to win. He wants the fight. He wants the legacy.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Tyson is more of a draw.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But Usyk has 3 belts.
Yeah, but Tyson's more of a draw.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do 70-30 and you'll still make a shit ton of money, I mean, that's a fucking big fight. I mean, that's a worldwide,
Huge.
gigantic,
Huge.
$200 million fight. So he'll make 30% of that. Fine.
Yeah, but I think the sticking point was the rematch clause. Tyson wanted 50-50 on the rematch clause. So you lose the fight and then the rematch clause is 50-50? You don't have any belts.
I would take it. I think it's still worth it because the name, it's like what brings asses in seats, right? It's the name. If they have the rematch and Usyk instead decides to fight, whether it's Wilder or whoever, it's not going to be as big a fight.
Right.
Anthony Joshua, it's not going to be as big a
Right.
fight. The big fight is Tyson Fury. I think that's reasonable. 70-30, if you could beat me, 50-50. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, but after the 70-30, you're going, all right, you're pushing me.
But he's
And
the
then-
Gypsy King.
Yeah.
He's the
No, I know he's a huge draw. I know he's a huge draw.
the biggest fucking draw in heavyweight boxing. And he might be the best heavyweight ever. He's a fucking freak of nature.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is. And he's such a personality. I mean,
Yeah, he sings that song after the... He sings after the... I'm like, this is pretty good. The
sings
song is
Bye Bye
pretty
Miss
good.
American Pie.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, he's like an entertainer. That's what Pacquiao used to fight. He used to go out and do karaoke after the
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
It's like, that's bananas.
Manny Pacquiao's like a professional level pool player.
Is he really?
Yeah, like really good. Like he could, like if he decided to stop fighting and never box again, he can compete as a professional pool player.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he's really good, man. I've watched him play.
I'd watch him and Mayweather do like one-on-one basketball. Because
Right.
they both like play basketball, like in their
They're
spare
so
time.
competitive.
So competitive. And
Yeah.
Mayweather's unbelievable. I mean,
incredible.
watching him fight, and some people don't get it. They just like, I had a friend and he was like, he's boring, no knockouts. I go, but he's a top level guy, multiple time world champion, and he's dismantling other multiple time world champions.
And not
Like,
getting hit.
Yeah, is there anything there? Yeah, I don't know. I go, it's just, he's boring. I don't like him. I go, okay, maybe, is it possible that you don't know what you're watching?
Yeah.
Maybe. Could it be that? I don't know. I like knockouts. I go, then you should watch Butterbean. And he goes, yeah, I like Butterbean. I go, good. Watch Butterbean. It ends up being like a 5-year-old argument. Good. I
Yeah.
will. I go, you should. I will. Good. Good. It ends up being that. You know what I mean? But for him to like just have that run is dismantling guys.
You're always gonna have casuals like that.
Yeah.
In every sport. In MMA, that's a big thing. People only like knockouts. They boo and fights go to the ground. Like,
Right.
Okay.
But is there a thing in MMA where it's like, are they calling stalemates faster?
You mean getting people back up?
Yeah, like if the guy's on top and he's not making progress, or the guy on bottom isn't getting a wrist or working towards, a submission, will they stop them and stand them up faster? I think that's better for the sport. In wrestling, they'll hit guys with stalling quick to keep the action moving. I know that's not a thing in MMA, but it does help the
It used to be
optics of it.
in Pride, they would give them a yellow card, and it would take 10% of your purse. So if you got a yellow card in Pride, that meant you weren't trying to win or you were stalling. And if the referee pulled that yellow card out, people were fucking freaking out. Like, if you're getting paid $1 million, $100,000 is now gone.
Yeah.
For that yellow card, you're like, fuck.
Right.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But
Is it a warning first? They give a warning before they put the yellow card?
I think it was up to the referee's discretion in Pride. I don't remember exactly how they did it, but when they did it, it was a big fucking deal, and the crowd would cheer, and and then the guy would adjust accordingly. Because if you got 2 yellow cards, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if they gave 2 yellow cards. I don't remember that ever happening. I'm sure it did, but I don't remember it ever happening in a fight. But in MMA, the controversy is about whether or not you should stand someone up, because you have 5 minutes. And if someone takes someone down and they're on top of them, it's up to the person who's on the bottom to get back up.
Yeah.
Like that's your job. And the guy on top, it's up to him to hold you down. I don't believe in stand-ups. It might be more entertaining for the audience, but I'm a purist in terms of I think you should control your own destiny in there. And if a guy can hold you down and just punch you in the face while you're on even if it's boring, he's doing what he wants to do.
Right.
And you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
That means he's winning. And I think that any interference of that is against the purity of the sport.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I do understand that it could be boring if a guy can hold a guy down and control
Not so much boring,
him.
but is the guy on top initiating action? Mm-hmm. I think that's the key. Is he initiating action? Is he trying to win is he advancing his position? In wrestling, it's advancing your position.
It is in
but
MMA
punching in the face is advancing. It's a way of advancing your position in terms of winning the fight.
Yeah, but it's open to interpretation. Like, say if he's in side control and he's only occasionally hammer fisting the guy, but the guy's in no danger of being stopped. There's an argument that that's stalling, but I don't buy that argument because it's only a 5-minute round, and for a grappler, it's really hard to take someone down. Like, you're dealing with kicks and knees and punches, and you're trying to find the opening, and then you level change, you get the shot, maybe you switch from a double to a single, you run the pipe, you get the guy on the ground. All that took a minute and a half.
Right.
And if you're holding the guy down, and then the referee comes keep moving, action, advance your position, and then they stand it back up. Well, what the fuck is that? That guy couldn't get up. If it was no one here to stop that, if this was just a fight out in a field somewhere, that guy on top controls the fight. He does what the fuck he wants to do. And if that guy gets tired, eventually he'll move to mount and just start beating the fuck out of him. But it's important that his skill set is expressed. His skill set is his ability to control the guy.
Right.
And if you're on the bottom and you can't get back up, I don't care if it's boring. Tough shit.
Yeah.
Your job is to get back up. And if you can't get back up, that guy wins.
Right.
Even if he wins a boring-ass fight where he just takes you down and gives you noogies for 5 rounds, tough shit. You got to figure out how to not get taken down or get back up or submit him off your back or find some kind of scramble where you can get on top.
Right.
And if you can't do that, then you lose because that's what the fight's all about. And, of course, in terms of the people that go to pay, they are going to pay more to see the exciting people, the Conor McGregors, the John Joneses, the people that stop people and finish people.
Yeah.
And they're the big draws.
Yeah.
But if you can Ben Askren your way to a career, and Ben did it for a long time, where he just took guys down and fucking noogied them into a coma.
Yeah.
Tough shit. That's my feeling. I don't like stand-ups. I'd hate them. Especially sometimes they'll stand someone up from a dominant position. Someone will get to side control and the referee will stand them up, and I'm just going, what the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
It's so hard to get there.
Yeah,
and you're only giving a guy 5 minutes to work, And you got to think it probably took a minute or so to get the guy down.
Not just a minute or so, but it is a lot of energy.
A lot of
You're
energy.
a lot of energy to take a guy down.
And then if you get taken out of that and stood back up again, now you're tired, and this guy, his striking is probably a strong suit.
Right.
And now you're in his realm, and you expended all this energy, and it's taken away from you by a bad referee.
Right.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb. I think it should be eliminated. I really do. I don't like it at all. I don't think there's ever a time that they should stand people up. I don't think there's ever a time they should separate someone if they got someone pressed up against the cage and they're kneeing him in the body and elbowing him. Sometimes referees will decide there's not enough action. They separate them.
Yeah.
I hate that too. I don't believe in any of it. I don't think you should do anything to make it more exciting for the casuals. Nothing.
No, really?
Zero. Yeah, because the best guys are always going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It's just you're going to have – it's just like everybody's like, I want blood all the time, blood.
Yeah.
You don't always get blood.
Yeah.
Action movies aren't always
Right.
action. Sometimes the hero and the woman kiss.
That's
you know?
yeah. That's right.
So it is.
But that's why Dana like stacks the cards.
Yeah.
In case you have a fight that's not as exciting.
Well,
they're
very. I mean, it's obviously they're different than me because they're promoters and they're selling a product.
Right.
I'm a martial artist, and so what I want to see is someone compete to the full ability, like
Right.
the full extent of their abilities, and something that gets in the way of that is stand-ups. I don't like it. But I'm not. It's not like a universal opinion. Like most people don't agree with me. A lot of people don't agree with me.
Right, because they're casuals.
Not even
they're not
casuals.
understanding the technical,
Even fans.
the technical aspect of what you just said.
Yeah, but
You know,
even
I understand that.
Yeah, even hardcore. There's a lot of hardcore fans that don't agree with me. They say, no, you can't just hold the guy down. You got advanced position.
Right.
Okay, why? Tell me why. Because the guy wants to win, and if he could just win by taking guys down, and if the audience boos and he doesn't get popular because of it, okay, so what? Willie Pep won fights without throwing a punch.
Right.
He won a whole round once without throwing a punch.
Yeah.
Just moving and dancing, and it was so masterful
Yeah.
that people had to agree. I mean, it's like, what do you want him to do? Just Arturo Gatti and fucking just stand right in front of him and just throw bombs like Mickey Ward?
Yes.
Like, yeah. Sometimes it's fun.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
That's
but
unreal.
then you saw what happened when Arturo Gatti fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Like that shit didn't work.
No.
Against a master.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. It was great. Diego Corrales versus Julio Luis
Oh
Castillo.
my God. That fight was crazy.
I mean, I love the Gotti Ward fights, but that fight for me is the greatest fight in history that I've seen in the modern era.
Because he came back?
The first 10, they're just, you expected Diego because of his reach to keep him on the outside, and he didn't. He just stood in a phone booth with him, and they just traded, and it was, as the round, like, you're like, oh my God, can this continue?
Right.
They're just in a phone booth, and just at a high skill level, working on the inside, both of them, and just trading brutal shots, and nobody taking a step backwards.
Yeah.
And it was unreal. And then the 10th round, where he gets knocked down, and he spits the mouthpiece out, Goosen puts it back in, and then he stops. I mean, it was just
insane.
I think they play that. I'm sorry. I think they play that at corporate retreats. They play round 10 of that. They should play the whole fight, but they play round 10 of that fight in corporate retreats to be like, just never give up. You never give up.
Sometimes you should give up.
It's that round 10. I mean, it's almost like it's like watching a Rocky movie.
Yeah, there it is.
It's emotional to watch.
Oh my God, it was an
and look at his
incredible
eye.
fight. Yeah. It was an incredible fight, and he was in real trouble multiple times in that fight. And when he got dropped, I mean, there's several times where it looked like the end. Look at that left hook. Oh my God.
I mean,
did you see the Caleb Plant Benavidez fight last weekend?
Yes.
Fucking hey, man.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's a good stoppage. That's a good stoppage too.
Oh, yeah,
he looked like he was out on his feet.
But you could make an argument that Corrales could have got stopped earlier than that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's very subjective. Like, referees have stopped fights for way less before.
Well, the Fury Deontay Wilder fight, where he's down and he opens his eyes.
Yep.
The famous he opens his eyes and gets back up. Jack Reese is the ref, I think. And Deontay's camp was complaining that he wasn't counting, whatever. But it's like, Jack Reese is great. He's a great ref. he always gives the guy he's like, I'm going to count to 10. He gives the opportunity for the guy to get up.
Just you never thought Fury was getting up.
No way. His eyes were closed
and
on the ground.
He's laying on his back
thunder,
with
man.
his arms above his head like he's just flatlined.
It's unbelievable.
And then he rises and wins the rest of the round, which is crazy. And that win for the rest of the round made the blueprint for the second fight because he realized like Wilder has a hard time when people put him on his heels.
Right.
When people back him up. And so then he came out the second fight just backing him up and stopped him.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. His arms are flailed to the side.
Yeah.
His eyes are rolled back. And he looks like he's done.
Yeah. He really does.
Looks at the referee. The referee's counting. He goes, okay, back to work.
Right.
And I was watching at home. I remember screaming, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I was by myself screaming, oh, my God. And then he got back up. I was like, wait, no way. No way. And he's like, I'm fine. Let's go. And the referee says, okay, walk to here.
That's great.
Look at this fucking shot, too.
Jesus.
My God. And the right hand before it,
Right.
too. So he cracks him with the right hand. Boom! And nobody punches harder than Deontay Wilder.
He's unreal.
He's got the touch of God in his
I mean,
hands.
those two, I didn't see the first, those two punches are unbelievable.
And look, Wilder's 100% convinced as he walks off that it's over.
Yeah.
And he makes the throat cut thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He does a little dance. And then you see the look in his eyes when Tyson gets up. He's like, oh, shit. How? Look at this. He does the throat cut thing. I mean, nobody on earth other than Tyson Fury is getting up there.
Right.
Which is so crazy. Deontay Wilder's the greatest knockout artist in the history of the heavyweight division. There's no one that's had one-punch knockouts like that guy. The Luis Ortiz fight just catches him on the forehead
and was losing.
flatlines
Was
him.
losing every round.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you see Deontay's like, I can't believe this motherfucker is still up. And then there's also like an emotional thing that happened. Look at the wildness of Deontay.
Yeah. To be able to survive that. First of all, I mean, I have a huge respect for mental toughness. And the mental toughness it takes to get up.
Yeah.
And then the guy who just did that to you is waiting on the other side of the ring to come and do it again.
And then he moves forward. He survives the initial barrage, and then he starts moving forward. Then he dings Deontay. And you see Deontay got rocked at one point in time, and he starts pushing him back. I'm like, oh, my God, he won the rest of the round. Like, he literally made it like a 9-9 round.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I love the fortitude that it takes in that moment to compose first of all, the mental toughness to get up, and then the fortitude. All of these intangibles, like I'm a boxing guy, but it's all of these underlying things which makes me love the sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the composure that it takes. You know, it's really unbelievable. That's why I love the sport so much.
Well, you're not a casual. Look at him. He's dancing.
It's great.
Like he thought it was. Now walk through, look in his face when he sees Tyson get up. Like they start counting him, and he's like, "This fight is fucking over." I don't know if they're going to show it here, but there's a look where you see Deontay's face. Like right there, he's like, oh, shit. I don't believe this.
Let me start breathing differently. Let me start breathing differently because I got to go finish the job here. Yeah.
And then he gets up, and, Deontay, I'm sure, thought he was going to put him away. He puts everybody away.
Right.
But they're talking now about Deontay versus, I think they're talking about Andy Ruiz.
That's a great one, too.
That's a great one. But they might be also talking about Deontay and Usyk because I think Usyk is open now. I just hope they put that fight together. Just figure it out, boys.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
Yeah.
The fight's Tyson Fury and Usyk. It's the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Deontay Wilder training as promoter cancels another Vegas date. Okay. So Andy Ruiz Jr. potentially is now canceled. See, that's the thing that boxing does. It drives me nuts. They set these fights up. They get your dick hard, and then they pull them away from you like fucking Lucy with this football.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I think the thing is, like the Crawford Spence date, it's like we're floating the date of June 17th. It's like, all right, because that gets everybody's hopes up for it. And then they go, well, now we got to negotiate. We got to come to the table. And it's like, how's that going to go? It didn't go well last time. And as a result, Terrence, I think, just got frustrated with the negotiations. So like, I'm just going to fight somebody. You don't think I'll walk away. I'll go fight somebody else.
Is saying it's April Fool's because they reported on April 1st? Is that what they're saying?
I was trying to figure it out, too. This is the best I could get, was that last he said is it's April Fool's.
Oh, yeah, what does that mean? So announced April 22nd during Gervonta Davis. Oh, so it will be announced. So they're hoping it will be announced. If Crawford isn't playing around, it will disappoint many fans who want to see him fight Spence. Yeah, that's the big fight at welterweight. That's a big fight.
Right.
Man.
But I think if they don't make the fight, then they have to fight like they have to fight the number one contender then. There's Virgil Ortiz at 147. There's Boots Ennis, who's a guy out of Philly
Boots
who's
Ennis
unreal.
is amazing.
Okay, so you got to fight that.
Yeah.
Why are the mandatories not being forced is my question.
I think it's just money. They're just trying to make the biggest fights possible.
Well, the problem
for
is that you have
promoters.
these individual promoters and you have there's too many IBF, WBC, these
Yeah.
sanctioning organizations, and it's like you have to force these fights.
Yeah.
You can't. I understand that ticket sales and all that stuff is important, but if you want to maintain your integrity as a sport, you have to force these fights.
Yeah,
Boots
I
Ennis should not be
agree.
sitting there
Right.
as the number one contender for 5 years.
Right. Exactly. Good
You know?
point. Yeah, and also the world needs to know how good Boots Ennis is.
Yes.
When you watch that guy fight and switch stances, and,
Unbelievable.
he's such an
Unbelievable.
artist in there. He's so exciting.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will catch on. But you do run the risk of like a guy like that not being recognized because he's in this sort of weird situation where other people are getting shots and he doesn't.
Right. But it's a weird situation because I think Teddy Atlas has said this on multiple occasions. It's structured badly. The sport is structured badly. Whereas like in UFC, it's Dana making the decisions.
Yeah.
And you need that. You need a guy at the top going, no, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you don't want it to happen, or if a guy's having personal problems like John Jones or whatever that was, like, okay, I mean, you're still a legend and you will get the shot when you're ready to come back. But the show goes on. Tom Brady, gets hurt, rips his knee. Football doesn't stop.
Right. Yeah. There's a great advantage that the UFC has in being the promoter. And so it's the organization, it's the sanctioning body, and it's also the promoter.
Right.
But it does take away leverage from the fighters. Like, you can't say, I want 70-30. You can't say,
Right.
like, the way that boxing is, there's too many promoters and there's too many world titles.
Right.
But the opposite is the UFC, where it's like, there's really only one title that means something. There's Bellator titles and ONE FC titles, but what everybody wants to be is the UFC champion of the world. That's what everybody wants to
Right.
be. Everybody.
Right.
Nobody says, I'd rather be the Bellator champion. No disrespect to Bellator.
Yeah.
But the reality is that's not the same.
Right.
And the real reality is there's fighters in Bellator that are world championship UFC caliber fighters. And they might not ever get their due. And
Right.
they might lose their competitive prime competing against other people in an organization where less people are going to watch, and maybe even more importantly, less people are going to respect.
Right.
So it's.
But
you
in
know, it's
boxing,
tricky.
you can't fight once a year.
No.
You can't fight once every 18 months and expect me to still be interested in what you're doing.
Right.
Like, you have to fight more. You have to fight like three, to Canelo's credit, and 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
I understand these camps are like 12 weeks now, and that's brutal. It's brutal, the preparation. But, 3-4 times a year, I mean, if you're fighting every 2 years, it's like it
Yeah.
holds up the division.
Yep.
And it's less competition.
It does, and there's so many big fights. The Canelo thing is very interesting, right? Because he loses to Bivol, and then he comes back and beats Triple G and looks pretty good, but then he had to get wrist surgery.
Right.
And, then you see what Benavidez did to Plant. Like,
Yeah.
Benavidez beat the fuck
Yes,
out
he
of
did.
Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
And how tough is Caleb Plant?
Caleb Plant is so tough, and he's
God.
a very, very skilled guy. man.
Damn, he's
so
tough.
skilled guy. He was an
Yeah.
Olympian. He was an
Yeah.
Olympian. So very skilled guy, and for David to do that, it was really,
Impressive.
it's really impressive.
He's a murderous
Yeah.
puncher, man.
Yeah.
But Caleb has a fucking chin on him, man.
He
Holy
stayed in
shit.
it and refused to get knocked out,
And he
and
got
really tried to win the fight.
battered. I mean,
Yeah.
he got fucking battered. I'm super impressed with Benavidez.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big test for him. And Caleb in the beginning was very slick.
Yeah.
But Benavidez just kept pressing
Kept
and putting
coming.
it on him. And
Yeah.
then towards the latter half of
Pressure.
the fight, that's traditionally been a problem with Caleb, that he starts to fade in the later rounds.
It's so much energy to keep a guy like that off you. I think you got to have power to keep a guy
Yeah.
like that off you, because that guy has a Benavidez has and many guys like to have a suffocating style. They
Yeah.
you can hit him, and that does something to you mentally. I think where you hit a guy twice, you hit him with your best stuff, and he just walks. He's walking through it.
Yeah.
Walking forward, walking you down. It's like, all right, I guess this is going to be. I'm gonna have to move. It's a tremendous amount of energy.
I feel like, I wonder if Caleb could do something about his strength and conditioning that takes it to another level. Because I feel like if he could maintain the kind of pace that he has in the early rounds of the Canelo fight,
Right.
the early rounds of the Benavidez fight, if he can do that, like, man, it's going to be really hard for people to fuck with him.
Yeah.
But he has a mark. There's a noticeable slowing down that happens, and I wonder if that's psychological.
I don't know how you would mimic that pressure. Like, I've never been in a fight camp before, so I don't know how you would mimic that pressure in sparring.
I think it would have to be in strength and conditioning. I think you would have to all out dedicate yourself to taking your VO2 max to a completely new level.
Yeah.
And you would have to like really dedicate yourself in that regard to just absolutely annihilating your boundaries and pushing your strength and conditioning to the point where you can get like there was this guy, BJ Penn, who's one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. And there's one point in time where BJ Penn, he started training with Marv Marinovich. And Marv Marinovich was a fucking animal. The Marinoviches, like, they had a style of training where they believe that you already have the skill. And what's more important than anything is cardio. And so they would do just ruthless plyometrics.
Yeah.
That was the entire camp for whatever amount of weeks that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Most of your time was dedicated to strength and conditioning.
Right.
And it was very systematic and it was very scientific. They were checking your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, monitoring your recovery and making sure you're getting the right nutrients and rest and rehydration and all that stuff. But the most important thing was the gas tank.
Right.
Because you already know how to fight.
Yeah.
And what happens in fights, you still know how to fight, but your gas tank starts to fail. And so when BJ Penn was at his prime in if you look at, there's a bunch of different fights like Diego Sanchez, Sean Shirk, where he was just destroying these guys. He had a limitless gas tank.
Yeah.
And he had this incredible skill set that he already had.
Right.
And there's a good argument for that like at a certain level, what's most important is cardio.
Right.
So there's like several schools of thought when it comes to that.
Right. But even with the plyometric and strength, like you have to mimic that in sparring.
Yes.
You have to mimic that in training so that you can utilize it.
Well, they did all that too. I mean, it wasn't like you only did strength and conditioning, but strength and conditioning was primary.
But what's that look like? Is that like a shark bait type situation? We call it in wrestling shark bait, where one guy in the middle and they just keep sending you fresh guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They certainly did that, but honestly, most of it was work like plyos, box jumps, all these different things where you just had your ability to work. It was all about your cardio, all about your ability to constantly work.
Right.
And you already had efficiency in your striking and your grappling, all these different things. And so you would do drills for those things.
Right.
So you keep all your weapons sharp. But the primary focus was strength and conditioning. And I'm always intrigued by that because it's the most brutal way to do it. It's so hard to stay motivated because sparring is fun. If you're in there sparring, you know, there's something exciting about it. There is nothing fun about box jumps. There's nothing fun about running hills.
Box jumps and running hills till fail. Till fail is the key there because everybody thinks, you know, it's like, no. It's like the goal is to throw up.
Yeah. The goal is to break your body.
Yes.
And then have it like right there where it's broken and then recover.
Right.
And then get yourself right back to there again and recover. And now all of a sudden your threshold bumps up a little more.
Right.
And so now you can go an extra round. Now you can go an extra minute. Now you can go an extra minute 30. Now you're really pushing it and now you're seeing these things that used to kill you, now you can get through them. And you're, at the end you're recovering quicker. And that's the idea. And I wonder if a guy like Caleb Plant, if you could get him to an insane level of cardio where he could compete at that pace that he does in the early fight, because in the early part of the fight, that guy's slick.
Yes.
He's so
very
slick.
skilled guy.
And he's moving nice and slick, but then he starts standing in front of Benavidez, and then Benavidez he's so accurate, and he gets his punches around your guard and up the front and uppercuts and jabs. And I love his style.
He throws punches in bunches too. He's not throwing one punch.
No, smothers you. Stays on you, and he's a brutal puncher too. And at the end of the fight, like he didn't even have a scratch.
No,
on
he
him.
didn't.
It's crazy.
No,
Caleb looked like he'd been through a meat grinder.
Yeah, it's really something. So I think that's the fight at 168.
Yeah, I think so too.
Benavidez, Canelo. But everybody's calling for that Bivol Canelo rematch, and I just don't see it. I think we saw it.
Yeah.
You know, with some of these fights, it's like I think we saw it. We don't need a trilogy.
Yeah.
And I think we saw it.
Maybe, but when you got a champion like Canelo, he thinks he can do it better, and he thinks he's like, okay, I understand what he did, and maybe he knew coming into that fight because he did have a wrist problem that he had in the Triple G fight too, so he probably had that problem already.
Right.
Who knows? But I think for Bivol, the big fight is Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev is a fucking monster.
Dude, I saw him fight at the Garden, Joe Smith. And everybody, it was a pro Joe Smith. I was rooting for Joe Smith, New York guy, Long Island, Union, all the Union guys
Tough
out.
guy.
Yeah, but the atmosphere, he's just like, Joe, yeah, let's go, Joe. And then Beterbiev comes in the ring, and the fight starts, and it's just no disrespect to Joe Smith. He's unbelievable, but it looked like just a man fighting a small child.
Yeah.
It was just brutal, man.
Beterbiev is
and he gets no
intelligent
headlines.
animal.
He gets no headlines.
I know. What is he like? 19-0 at 19 knockouts.
Yeah.
He's the only. I think it's 19. He's the only boxer at a world championship level that stopped every single one of his opponents in every fight he's ever been in. And he's super skillful, but he fights like a fucking destroyer.
Yeah.
Just moves straight towards you.
That
What
Russian
is it?
style.
Yeah, 19-0 with 19 knockouts.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. The Anthony Yard fight, like holy fuck, man.
I think
They
Anthony
went to
Yard was happy
war.
just to go that far into the fight. Like he considers that a win.
It's crazy.
Probably.
That's how good
because
Beterbiev
Beterbiev is so tough.
And nobody knows who he is. You
No.
know, if it wasn't for people talking about him in
No.
YouTube clips, like he gets zero press.
He gets zero press, and he they ask him about, have you seen this guy fight? What about this guy? He's like, I'm not really a boxing fan. That's what he said. That's what he said. He goes, I'm not really a boxing fan. I just like to focus on my family.
That's crazy.
In that accent, it's like, bro, you're like, nah, I'm just kind of focused on my family. Boxing is my job.
It's funny.
A
when
lot of
you
those
hear
guys
him
have that
talk,
mentality where it's like, boxing is my job.
And I guess he kind of, it's how it keeps him sane because his work rate is fucking preposterous. I mean, you ever see that guy train? Holy shit, man. He's a monster. He's a monster. And then when you hear him talk, he's so like respectful and low key.
Yeah.
It's weird watching that demon come out when he gets inside the ring.
Yeah. It just looks like he doesn't, and a lot of these Russians have that, where it's just, it looks like it's just workmanlike. Mm-hmm. They don't have like the emotion that we do here in the West. It looks like they're just in there. And regardless of what you throw at them, it's just workmanlike what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. It's pretty crazy.
Well, it's, they're coming from a hard world.
Yeah,
He's from Chechnya.
Yeah.
That is a fucking hard world. There's something about those European or Eastern Bloc, like from Soviet Union, former Soviet Union guys, and from Russia and Dagestan. They're so tough.
So tough.
And there's something to be said for it's just like kids from the ghetto in the United States.
Right.
Those are the best fighters.
Yeah.
People who just came from the heart, like Mike Tyson coming from Brownsville. It's like, those are the people from Bedford-Stuy. Those are the people that are just the fucking monsters.
And then
in
with
there.
the training also, just it hones that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there should be something that would help boxing is you ever you watch Showtime has All Access now.
Mm-hmm.
HBO used to have 24/7, the documentary series. I think that should be for every fight. It would make boxing far more popular because these guys have such impressive stories. Mm-hmm. And to tell that story, it's like there's documentaries about everything now, about nonsense. It's like they should have a documentary for each fight because you want to see their journey, like where they came from. It's really something to see a kid who has nothing, born into extreme poverty, become a like Gervonta Davis, coming from poverty, like his story to being a world champion. It's like, it's an inspiring story.
It is, and it's great for everyone because it gives you fuel. Like for a person who's coming up in life, even if you're not a fighter, you see what someone's gone through and you see the success that hard work has created.
Right.
And it can be a roadmap for your own life.
It really can be. It translates.
Oh, man, for sure.
And that's what Goggins is my favorite. He's my favorite guy, man.
He's
I watch
amazing.
all this stuff. I put on, there's this thing on YouTube called Goggins Motivation. So I'll be stretching and it's just him talking.
Yeah.
It's just, he's unreal, man.
No, he's unreal. And that's that guy. You want to talk about mental toughness. That guy's destroyed knees.
Yeah.
And he runs thousands of miles. It's just like every day he's running 15, 20 miles every day. With destroyed knees.
But he's taken his life where he came from, which is a terrible, terrible situation and transformed himself. That's what I love about him.
Yeah.
The fact, and he's able to articulate it.
Yeah.
You know, and he does it very well. And he also talks about mental toughness in a way that I've never heard anybody talk about mental toughness. You know, when I was growing up, maybe it's the same for you. It's like, you got to be mentally tough. You got to be mentally tough. You got to suck it up. Suck it up. And it's like, you're processing that, but he breaks down, what does that actually mean in the suck, which is what he called, you know what I mean? Like, it's that conversation that you're having with yourself that we all have with ourselves when we're suffering.
Well, what Dave does is he does it in silence. Like, there's no one around, and he's doing it. No one's forced him to do it, and he does it because he wants to learn about himself.
Right.
And the way I've had conversations with him about it, where he goes, "I'm getting that deep knowledge. When I'm suffering, when I'm out there running those miles, I get that deep knowledge. I'm downloading information." Like, the way he's thinking about it, like his fucking heart is pounding, his knees are aching.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to keep going, but he's like finding his own threshold, finding his own limitations, and then knowing that he can push through that because he's done it before. I mean, he's almost died like multiple times with rhabdo and doing those 200-mile races and pissing fucking Diet Coke out of his dick. So that's what it looks like. It's fucking, your body's breaking down, your kidneys are breaking down.
Right.
And, you know, the guy goes to the hospital. He ran, I think it was the Moab 240. They had to take him out of the race because he got rhabdo. So he goes to the hospital, recovers, goes back to the spot where they had to pull him, and finishes the race.
God, I love that. God, I love that.
He's like, you're not beating me.
That's so great.
He's like, I'm going to complete this fucking race,
That's
even if it's
so
2
great.
weeks later.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop me off at the spot where I stopped.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
It's very,
It's also
very
him
inspiring.
also talking about shutting out the noise. Because it just, that's the society we live in now. There's a lot of noise around. There's a lot of things that can addict you. And I think you have to be more disciplined now than ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the kids coming up too, it's like, all this stuff wasn't around when we were coming up. You know what I mean? It's like social media and all this other stuff that's just not good for you. And he talks about going silent and just quieting your mind and focusing. You know
On the other hand, for fighters, the good aspect of the digital world that we live in now is you have access to, like, Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns.
Right.
You know, you could watch Vito Antuofermo fight.
Right.
You can watch all these people from bygone days where you could see their technique and their movement and what they did. And you can get inspiration from that instantaneously off your phone.
Yes.
I mean,
I do love that.
Fuck, it's incredible. And that's why people are so good today in everything.
Right.
In everything. In comedy. You're seeing these comedians. I'm watching these fucking door guys that we have hired at the mothership. And these fucking guys are like 3 years in, and they're like, I just watch comedy on YouTube. I'm constantly watching comedy. And you're watching them on stage like, these guys are kind of advanced. Yeah. For 3 years in, I was fucking terrible. I was terrible 3 years in. And these guys are doing really well. They have good structure. Their jokes are written well. Good stage presence. They have an understanding of it that's a next level because they've seen the Rodney Dangerfields, the Eddie Murphy, the Chris Rock. They've seen all these people, and they get a sense of what it's all about. Whereas those guys had to get it from being in the clubs, only from being in the clubs. These guys, before they even step into a club, have like an education in stand-up comedy. And that's the beautiful thing about the digital world. It's just, this thing requires discipline.
Yes,
it requires
does.
a lot of fucking discipline. And if you don't have that, you're going to get sucked in. You know, and I see it. I see it with my own kids. We have to take their phones away when we eat dinner. Like, come on, put the phone over here on the counter. We're all going to sit down and have a meal together. We take it away from them on Sundays. No phones. We're all hanging out. Let's just do it this way. But if you leave them a phone, I'm just going to put it on my chair. Okay. And then you see them checking TikTok. Like, get out of there. Get out of there, you little fuck. Stop looking at that.
You'd be surprised how many families don't have those rules.
You got to have those rules.
You got to have the rules, man.
And they have to see it with you. That's what's important. They have to see the parents can leave it alone. If the parents are hanging out with them and they're not paying attention, that's a problem. You know, and it's easy to do. And it's easy, you know, with me, I would make excuses like, I got to work, I got to answer these emails, I got to do this, which is true, but still not. Don't do it. Just, you know, we all have problems. These are the most addictive things in terms of attention that anybody's ever experienced in history.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean-
absolutely. Because you're doing your job, whatever. It's a little vacation, to go and scroll and take your mind off everything.
Yeah.
But you're right. What you said, you nailed it. It's like it sucks you in. It sucks you in, but there's so much good information out there. That's really true on how to improve your life.
Yeah.
Like it's right there.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
references on books you can read and all kinds of other stuff where you can like, oh no, let me get focused here.
And there's also plenty of people talking about the dangers of addiction to social media.
Yeah.
Where you really can get an understanding of. It's not like it's just sneaking up on you.
Right.
Everybody kind of knows what's happening while it's happening. And then it's up to you. Either you set up like a screen time thing where
Right.
you only have an hour on this app, and after a while it just shuts you out. Or you just decide like I'm going to get things done, and
Right.
and if I'm going to look at social media for 10 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it is, that's my little reward.
Right.
Just don't get sucked in.
Right.
I do it in the morning. It's a real problem in the morning for me because I take a shit when I wake up, right?
Right.
So I take a shit, I got that phone, and next thing you know, I'm like, it doesn't take 20 minutes to take a shit, stupid. Like, what are you doing in here? You're just pretending to be going to the bathroom while you're scrolling through social media.
Isn't that something that you have to have that truthful conversation
Oh,
with
yeah.
yourself?
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good that you can call yourself out on that. I was like lying to myself in there. I was lying to myself.
Yeah, I lie to myself every morning. I'm like, I'm just going to check it real quick.
But
see my
don't you
email.
do a cold plunge?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, do that thing first.
Yeah.
That cold plunge, like you're not thinking about anything else. Mm-hmm. That
Yeah,
hits
I
you.
do the cold plunge, but I usually have to go to the bathroom first. That's
Right.
the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't go to the bathroom without my phone.
Right.
So sometimes I'll wake up at like 8 o'clock and it's 8:40 before I get in the water.
Yeah.
Like, why did it take so long?
Right.
Well, because I had to say hi to the dog.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to get up.
But plus, you're not rushing to get to that water either.
No. I do it every day, but I don't want to do it
Yeah.
every day. So every day, like as I'm walking towards, there's all this self-talk where my brain's like, come on, man, you don't have to do this. And then there's the other part of me is going, shut the fuck up.
great.
Just get in
It's
there.
great.
And I always do it. But that talk, it's never like I'm looking forward to it. It's a smooth walk there. There's no mental hiccups. That's happened 0 fucking times.
I love that.
Every fucking
love
time
that.
I've gone, walked toward that thing, pick up the lid. I'm like, oh my God, are you really doing this? I set the timer on and my foot hits the water. I'm like, okay, we're in. And then, but once I'm in, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Once I'm in, it's fine.
Yeah.
And but there's always that moment like 30 seconds in where your body's like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, hey, shut up, pussy.
Yeah.
Like, we're in here.
I love that.
We're in here for 3 minutes no matter what happens.
I love
so
that.
just fucking deal with it. And then when I get out, I'm always happier.
Yes.
But it's just that fucking
Yeah.
talk that you have to have in
Yep.
your brain
Yep.
while you get up there. Like, I know I'm not going to listen. I know that
Right.
inner bitch is not going to win.
That's power, though, man.
But
That's-
that motherfucker
that's power.
is so persistent.
I love it, though.
Every day he's like, come on. We don't have to do
That's
this.
the power, man. Overcoming
goes
it,
away.
not listening to it. Like, nah, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. And I think that lends you power to other parts of your life.
Oh, it definitely does.
It's really great. I do
definitely
cold
does.
showers. I don't have a plunge, but I do cold showers, and it's never pleasant. I'll
Cold
hit the
showers
gym.
in the East Coast
I'll
are
do
rough.
I do the steam, and then I'll just, no matter what, I'll put it on and then just do the Wim Hof, do the breathing in the cold.
The problem with Texas is the water never really gets cold enough.
No.
It does in the winter. It gets pretty cold. I've taken some cold showers in the winter. I'm like, ooh, this is pretty cold. But it's not enough. It's just, like, cold shower here is like mildly unpleasant.
Yeah.
I want brutal.
I know.
want brutal. And it's like getting through that at the beginning of the day. First of all, it raises up your dopamine. Like Andrew Huberman and Susanna Soberg have put out all these scientific papers and podcasts and have all these discussions about the benefits for your dopamine increases 200%. It
Right.
lasts for hours, norepinephrine, all these
Yeah.
like real tangible benefits. But the resilience, like having the ability to say to that inner bitch, fuck you.
Yeah.
If you watched me, you would think, oh my God, this guy's so stoic. He's a soldier. He just walks in that thing every day. But you don't know what's going on in my head.
I love that.
In my head, I'm like, come on, pussy.
I love that.
Let's go have a coffee
That's
first.
so great. That's like Goggins looking at his shoes for 4 hours.
Exactly.
He's looking at his shoes for 4 hours. Like, you gonna run
Sometimes
today?
I'll stare at those motherfuckers for a half hour before I put them on. But he just lets you know, like
Yeah.
it does. You're never going to win that that battle. You always win, but you're never going to not have
Right.
that inner conversation where
Yeah.
the comfort, everybody
Yeah.
wants that comfort.
Yeah.
It's just being the boss. You know, my
Yeah,
friend John
being-
Joseph always says, when it's time to tell you, your mind tells your body who the fuck's the boss.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
I love
really
that.
what it is.
It's a philosophy. It's a mental philosophy that you have to have and you have to implement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have the philosophy, that's the first. That's it.
As long as you adhere to it. As long as you adhere
Yeah.
to it. But boy, it's so easy to not do it. Like today I got some stem cell shot in my knee and I can't do the cold plunge for 72 hours. So for 72 hours I get to be a bitch. But the problem is, in my head, I know 3 days from now
Yeah.
that fucking cold plunge is like, hey pussy,
Yeah.
remember me? It's even colder
That's great.
now.
That's great. I'm feeling that too when I'm in a warm climate like this, and then go
Yeah.
back to New York and hit those cold showers
Yeah.
there. I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel it. Yeah, it's gonna be a wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get to a point where you got a yard and you can get a cold plunge, I can't recommend it enough. It's so, and a sauna. If you have the two of them,
Yeah.
because they both test you in a different way.
Right.
Sauna's 20 minutes, and at 189 degrees, which is that's my sweet spot. When I get to like 15 minutes and I check my watch, I'm like, fuck, those last 5 minutes
Yeah.
are rough. They're rough.
But I think it does elevate your mood, and it really does fight depression.
100%.
It really does fight depression.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
crazy.
It's kind of crazy that like struggle fights depression.
Yeah.
But it really does. If you don't have any physical struggle in
Right.
your life and you're just dealing with the anxiety of existence, like that's what I find when I get hurt. When I get injured and I have to take a few days off,
Right.
I'm like, boy, do I rely on that for my mood
Yeah.
and to just
Yeah.
to overcome
Yeah.
adversity and just
Right.
deal with all the bullshit of pressure of life.
Right. But adversity is necessary. And that's a thing's been kind of overrun today in
Yes.
society, the society that we live in now.
Yeah.
People don't recognize that, I don't think.
All of my friends who don't do anything physical, they're the ones who struggle the most mentally.
Right.
I have so many friends that have like so many like weird mental problems, anxiety problems,
Yeah.
especially comics, that don't do anything physically.
Yeah.
But the ones that do something physically, they have such an advantage.
Right.
Because you're calmer. It's
Yeah.
like you're taking a drug
Yeah.
that allows you to deal with the bullshit.
Right. Mind-body connection's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is real.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of smart people don't recognize that because they're so concentrated on the mind.
Right.
They think of the body and concentrating on the body being frivolous.
Right.
But it's not. It's
No.
actually the mind
No.
that you're strengthening by concentrating on the body.
Right.
Because it's your will, which is a part of your mind. Everyone thinks your mind is just calculus and learning how to write and
Yeah.
learning language. No.
Right,
The
right.
mind is also will. It's
Yeah.
also dedication. It's also discipline. And that is your mind.
Yeah.
And the mental strength you get from physical activities applies to mental pursuits
Yeah.
and to intellectual pursuits.
Yeah. Absolutely. I could feel it. I could feel my mood change when I
Yeah.
do those right things, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Green
definitely.
juice in the morning, that's another big thing. NutriBullet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Spinach, celery, cucumber.
You got to
a
be careful
lemon,
with
ginger.
that stuff, though. One of the things that I've found that I didn't know when I used to drink a lot of kale shakes is
Mm-hmm.
you get a high level of oxalates from that stuff, from non-cooked vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, not everyone, but some people develop like kidney stones and
Really?
things along those lines. Yeah. Oxalates can be a problem. Like when you're grinding up kale and spinach and eating it raw, you're taking in an exorbitant amount of oxalates.
I just love those raw vegetables. And that
Yeah.
lemon just like kicks you too, man. And it just
Yeah.
sets the tone to eat better for the rest of the day too.
Sure.
You know?
I generally just take athletic greens, and
yeah.
most of my diet is just meat.
Yeah.
That's like the majority of my diet is meat and fruit. I would say like occasionally I have a piece of bread, occasionally I'll have a dessert, occasionally I allow myself to little treats, but
Yeah.
the vast bulk, probably like 90% of what I eat is just wild game meat, ribeye steaks,
Great.
and fruit. That's it.
What about olive oil?
I love olive
Yeah,
oil.
it's great
Love
too.
it.
Because you got to
Love
be.
it.
I made that
Yeah.
mistake on like a keto diet too, not satiating myself enough with enough fats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you make that mistake, and then you stray off it, and people go, "Well, if you start eating about the keto diet, you start eating carbs again, you gain the weight right back." It's like, go figure.
Well, the keto diet is a weird one because it seems very culty to me. Like
Yeah.
all the people that are into keto, it's like there's something about it. It just becomes there's great benefits to it. There's great benefits to elevating your ketones for mental clarity,
Right.
for your energy levels through the day.
Right.
And, you know, I've had Dom DiAugustino on the podcast, who's a scientist out of Florida, who's very interesting guy because he's super fit, like really like very strong, very athletic, and adheres to a keto diet.
Right.
Which is unusual for a scientist to be like that jacked and that
Yeah.
like dedicated to working out.
Yeah.
But also very, very like educated in the pros and benefits and the studies that show that
Yeah.
there's real benefits to just living off of fats, and that's
Yeah.
probably what most of our ancestors did,
Right.
like back in the day before agriculture and
Yeah.
grains and things like that.
But cutting sugars is huge.
It is.
It really is. It slows you down, and I used to get like ferociously hungry, and I was like, "Is it because I'm lifting too much?" It's like, no. It's your sugars. Your sugars are too high. You gotta cut.
We're all addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen those pictures of like people from the 1960s on the beach versus like 2020 on
Yeah.
the beach, and it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Sugar happened.
Right.
Corn syrup happened.
Yeah.
Processed carbohydrates. That's
that
what
high
happened.
fructose corn syrup is the worst, man. Kills you.
It's in everything.
Yeah.
It's so nuts how many things have corn in it. Have you ever seen that documentary King Corn?
No.
Great fucking documentary. But the documentary goes over like all the different things that have corn in them.
Yeah.
And that it's because corn is subsidized, because corn is a cheap substitute for things, and you can
Right.
add it to stuff for corn sweetener, and you know, it's just in everything. And your body doesn't do anything with it. Like your body's like, what is this?
Right.
That's why you shit out corn. Like
Yeah.
when you look at corn in the toilet, that's because your body's
Doesn't
like,
digest.
the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, you don't find like watermelon in there.
Right.
Like watermelon just gets absorbed by your
Right.
body. Your body knows what to do with it. It's
Right.
normal. Your body with corn is like, what the fuck is this thing? You know?
Yeah,
Yet
but
it's in
feeling good
everything.
every day is the goal. You know,
Yeah.
feel good every day, and you'll be able to do great things.
If
Like, you gotta
take
feel
care of
good
your
every
body,
day.
yeah, you just got to take care of your body. And
Yeah.
that's something that, unfortunately, with comics, you want some coffee?
Yeah, I'll take some.
The thing about comics is a lot of us are fucking impulsive, and you're spending the
Yeah.
nights at the clubs
Yeah.
drinking and partying and hanging out with a bunch of other assholes, and everybody's having fun, and it's just
Yeah.
it's easy to just
And also, you're a creative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're a creative type, and creative types, you know, tend to be by nature less disciplined
and more
so if you-
indulgent.
yeah. So if you could just keep the discipline,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, they're
That's
not
where I'm
mutually exclusive. People want to think that creativity and discipline, like, they fight against each other,
Right.
but they don't. It's just impulsive people, they tend to fuck things off and not do them. It's also like why you got into comedy in the first place, because you didn't want a job, you didn't want to grind, and
Yeah.
so you figured out like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not being a garbage man. That sucks. I'm gonna go to open mic night, and you figure out how to.
I'm
make
a star.
career. Yeah, I'm special.
I'm special.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing, right? And then there's the other thing. That's the thing that happens when you get famous. Like, you have to fight that demon now.
I'm sure.
And you
I'm
have
sure
to-
that's a whole nother.
It's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people crack. There's a lot of Chris Tuckers out there in the world
Yeah.
that got really famous and then just like,
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence cracked.
Right.
A lot of people crack. And some of them, it's like legit mental health issues. And some of them, it's just the overwhelming pressure of fame and, you know, and maintaining focus and discipline. And also, you got everybody around you that's kissing your ass.
That's
You
a big
start-
thing.
Yeah, you start believing it.
Yeah. That's another big thing. You have a lot of people not telling you the truth.
Yeah.
And calling yourself out on stuff.
Are you ready for that?
I think so now. I mean, I'm older now. I'm 50.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
That definitely
Yeah,
helps.
back in the day, maybe not. You know, I was always pretty disciplined, but yeah.
Yeah, I would not want to get famous at like 18, 19
No.
years old like some of these kids are.
Depends
I
how
think
you're
that's
raised
poison.
too. You know what I mean? If you're raised
Yeah.
with that discipline, like my father never let me get too out of control.
Well, that's
It was
good.
very much like, you think this is all free where we live here?
Right.
We're living here for free. What do you think this is? You know what I mean? A hotel.
Yeah.
Do you think your mother just cooks and does your laundry and it's all for free? I love that. It's like
Yeah.
that Italian. You know what I mean? They push it.
Yeah.
And make sure that you appreciate where you're coming from. I had a
Immigrant
lot
mentality.
Of that. Yeah, I had a lot of that growing up.
Yeah, that's good
So,
for you.
yeah.
That is good for you. But still, some people succumb to that fucking demon,
Yeah.
that demon of fame.
Yeah.
Look at Elvis. Look at
Yeah.
everybody. Everybody cracks.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Like, when you think about people like Elvis or Michael Jackson, when they got famous like that, there had been no roadmap.
Right.
There was no one that famous before them.
Right.
So it's like all of a sudden
Right.
you're Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Did you
And
see
it's
the
like-
movie?
I didn't see it.
It's fucking good.
I didn't see it.
It's
But
really
it's like,
good.
It's like television, because there was no television. So television like changed the game
Yeah.
and made these guys international like stars, and they weren't used to that.
Yeah, I mean,
You
they're
know?
doing all these late night talk shows,
Right.
and they're performing in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
No one's ever, like before Elvis came along, no one had ever been really that famous. I don't think there was anybody
Right.
like that before him.
Right.
And then this guy's got to figure it out, and
Yeah.
he's got people handing him pills, and
Right.
he's banging all these broads. and
Right.
It's like,
Right.
good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck sorting
Yeah.
that out. My favorite Elvis is Elvis on pills doing karate. Those are my favorite Elvises. I fucking love those videos. Have you seen those videos?
No,
my
I've
God.
seen him do karate, like to a montage
Yeah.
songs, but I've never seen like him actually just a long stretch of it. I've seen him in a karate outfit doing it.
Well, he would wear a karate outfit with one of those big collared shirts on under the gi.
Great, in case he had to perform.
I don't even know
Yeah.
why he was doing it.
Yeah.
I think he didn't want to be anywhere without his collared shirt. And so, he's clearly high as fuck. And he's doing like kind of fake karate. Look at him. He's all pilled
Yeah.
up, sweating like a pig. And this was like, look, sunglasses on. Elvis, why do you have sunglasses on? Like, what the fuck is going on? And he was training under a legitimate karate guy
Right.
in Ed Parker. Like, Ed Parker was the fucking man. I mean, he was like an absolute legit karate guy, and that's who Elvis got his black belt from. Was it a real black belt? I don't say no. No. But you see like these
It was an entertainment
demonstrations.
black
Like, look at
belt?
this. Look at this. Watch this. Like, back that up a little bit. This is what I'm going to do, man. So I'm going to put a gun on my back. I'm going to turn him on like this. Look at this. I'm going to turn on him real quick. I mean, it's the dumbest shit of all time. And then I'm going to get him right in the face because he's not even going to notice it's coming on my elbow, and then I'm going to trip him here. Like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. By the way, that guy shot you 5 times
he shot
already.
you 5 times
Your
in the
liver
back.
has 4 holes in
Yeah.
it. You're dead. It's so dumb. Here, man, I'm going to grab him by the face.
Yeah.
What you going to do? I mean, and if you listen to him talk back then,
Yeah.
he's like clearly intoxicated.
Right.
He's just fucked up
Yeah.
on downers, just doing karate, feeling like a
Yeah.
champ.
Now the other side of it is Gary Coleman. Gary
this.
Coleman, who that's great. Gary Coleman loses everything and becomes a security guard.
Yeah.
And then like he's working as a security guard protecting like on a set where Pamela Anderson and a bunch of TMZ guys come in, and Gary Coleman launches on, there's video of it where he launches onto the car and is like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. I actually love that. I love like a person, especially a famous person who's not doing a menial job, but is doing it to their best of their ability. I love that.
There's not a lot of people that become famous and then do a regular job.
Yeah.
But people do get really interested in those people when they do that. Like, look, he's like one of us again.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah. But
And then
everybody
people like
loves
make
to
fun of
shame
it.
that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to shame him, but I love that.
Isn't that
You know?
fucked? Isn't that fucked? Because if you just saw a security guy,
Yeah.
you'd be like, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm going building 4. All right, take it easy.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, you're that fucking guy, you
Yeah,
fucking loser.
Yeah.
Look at you
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Nobody thinks that about a
Yeah.
regular security guy.
Right.
See, a regular security guy is
Right.
just a guy. But a
Right.
regular security guy who's on like Falcon Crest,
Right.
like, oh,
Right.
look at you,
Right.
loser.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's the problem with fame. Like, you don't want to be a has-been.
Yeah.
A has-been is worse than a never was.
Right. Right.
Which is very strange.
Yeah.
You know, like, at least the guy fucking made it for a little while.
No, I love
Look,
it.
He's got pictures.
Yeah. And I love the mental focus of the fact that you're doing this job now to the best of your ability. I actually love that a
Yeah.
lot. Any menial job, anybody doing any quote unquote menial job,
Yeah.
where it's not much money, there's no reason really to excel. But I love there's people who go above and beyond in those jobs.
Yeah.
And I actually love that.
Yeah, there's a stoic discipline to that
Yeah.
that's very admirable. To someone who just does the job to the best of their ability and says, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right.
And if you could like instill that in a kid,
Yeah.
whoo, that's a fucking,
Yeah.
that's a tremendous benefit to have that. Bro, I got to piss.
Yeah.
We'll be right back, folks. You don't get a mugshot because he's the president? Is that what it is? He was the president?
I think there's just too much going on. Secret Service people, everything looking at him.
Yeah. There's some pictures that I think they're AI generated of him standing in the street, walking down the street with a giant crowd of people behind him with American flags. I'm like, that's got to be fake. Is that fake?
There was only like he was barely seen walking in and out of a building. I think like officially. So I don't know what the AI picture you saw was.
It was
probably
like him on the street in public, and there's a throng of fans behind him. He's walking down the center of the street. I'm
gotta
like,
be fake.
that looks fake. You can't tell anymore,
No.
man. It's so, well, you saw
Yeah.
the fake images of Trump being arrested. Did you see those? There's like all these fake images of them like grabbing him. He's screaming, and it's like there's fake images of him in the orange jumpsuit.
Wow.
AI can do such insane things now.
It can do our jokes.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Thing where it's like you could just put in a comic.
Yeah.
And then it just can spit
Write
out
a joke
jokes.
in Nate Bargatze
Yes.
style, talking about going to a baseball game.
Yeah.
And it'll do it. Yeah.
I mean, that's eventually going to get better.
It'll get so good that shitty comics can have Chat GPT write their premises and
Yeah.
write their material, which is, I guess, I mean, am I against that? I don't know if I'm against that. I kind of am, because I don't think you get like a really unique creative style like a Jim Gaffigan, a weird, like very specific style,
Right.
unless you learn how to do that in front of crowds over and over and over
Right.
again for years.
Yeah.
You know, and that guy, like, you know, he's writing, he's performing, he's trying it, he's
Right.
fucking around, he's doing all these
Right.
different things.
Yeah.
Like Dave Attell.
Yeah.
Every morning, that motherfucker gets up with a pack of cigarettes and a fucking newspaper and a cup of coffee, and he's just like writing things down, going over stuff, and fucking with it in his head. Like,
Yeah.
the idea that Chat GPT can do that for him, I
Yeah.
don't like it.
I don't like it either at all. Where does
But-
that leave us?
But
By
if
the
I
way.
was an open micer and I needed some premises,
Mm-hmm.
which are, that's the one thing that drives me fucking crazy when people steal premises. It is so hard to come up with a premise. It is fruit that you've like climbed to the top of a tree and risk your life to
Right.
grab that apple.
Right.
And someone goes, "Oh, I'll take that apple."
Yeah.
And then I'll write my own thing on that apple.
Yeah.
Okay, you motherfucker. You saw that guy grab that apple.
Yeah.
That's his apple.
Right.
And, you know, people go, "Well, I could write a joke on the subject too." Yeah, sort of, but your
On the
joke
subject.
is completely derivative
Right.
of his.
Yeah. That's a great thing about Attell.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get a text from him
Oh,
at 3 in
yeah.
the morning. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You have a joke about a clown on a tricycle who's on meth." It's like, Dave, not only do I not have that, I've never.
Well, he thinks when things come to him too easy. Like, because I've had that happen to me too. I'm like, God, have I heard this before? Because my memory is really good and also really bad. Like, it's really good, but sometimes it sucks. It's like, it's so inconsistent sometimes.
Right.
Because, like, if something's important to me, I can remember everything about it. but if it's something like, I kind of remember it. Am I remembering that wrong?
Right.
We did it yesterday. Like, there's this video that I had that I was like, oh, that's that Bob Seska video. And then I'm watching, I'm like, no, it's not. No, that was different. And then we corrected it. I'm like, oh, no, that's his was different. I can't even find have you found that Bob Seska video?
Well, I found a few. I mean, there's become a lot of videos on that topic.
Oh, that topic, yeah. Well, McKenna made it so it's the stoned ape theory. It's a theory that when chimpanzees ate mushrooms,
Right.
or lower primates ate mushrooms, it advanced their intelligence, and that's how they became human. It's a very interesting
great.
theory because it's scientific. It really is, believe it or not. Like, there's actual scientists that believe, like this guy Dennis McKenna, who
Right.
believes that is probably how human beings evolved.
That's really funny.
It's really crazy.
That's really something.
Yeah, but there was a video about it, and I couldn't remember. I saw the video, and I had conflated them in my head, and I had this other video that Bob Seska did a long time ago about aliens fucking with monkeys and turning them into people, and then I had fucked them up, and I realized while I was watching, like, no, this is not it. So, like, my memory is really good and also sucks.
Right.
So when I come up with a bit too easy, like, comes to me, I'm like, God damn it, if I heard that before.
Yeah.
And then you got to Google it or figure it out. But Google's nice, though, because you can Google that joke on something, and then it's like, oh, look, and Mitch Hedberg had a joke on that. Like,
Right,
oh, okay.
right.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, well, with TikTok now, it's kind of crazy because it just seems like everything is just
Yeah.
fair game.
I'm not even on
You know.
TikTok, but I'm on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have TikTok.
Yeah.
My thought was that's Chinese spyware. I don't want to give them my
Right.
fucking passwords, and
Right.
all of a sudden my email gets
And
compromised.
there's a balloon over your house.
Yeah.
Just for the weather.
What was the deal with those fucking balloons? Did they ever figure out whose balloons
No.
those were?
I
That
thought
had
it-
to have been them timing our response.
I thought of something
right?
yesterday.
That's a response time thing. That's not actually a weather balloon thing. is it?
Maybe, but I had heard also that those balloons were flying around when Trump was president. They didn't tell him about it because they didn't want Trump going crazy and like shooting nukes at the fucking balloon. Have a nuclear bomb blow off of the balloon.
They nuked the balloon.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
he's
great.
fucking wild, man.
With the TikTok being from China, which it is.
Yeah.
The last, I don't know how many, I was thinking back how many iPhones I bought. They come directly from China. They're shipped from China.
Oh yeah.
TikTok's already on them?
No, like
but-
the phone
but the
itself.
phone,
is
yeah.
shipped right from
Yeah.
there. So like, why? How do we know that they're not
Yeah.
Well,
intercepting?
this
and-
is one you have to think of. According to Gavin DeBecker, who's a security expert, like a legitimate genius, he told me that there was an original Pegasus application that was invented by the Israelis, and it was a spy program, and it required you to click a link. And this is how MBS got Jeff Bezos. Remember when Jeff Bezos had some dick pics get leaked? And
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, allegedly, someone sent him a link on WhatsApp. He clicked on that WhatsApp link, and then it downloaded this spyware onto his phone that he wasn't aware of.
Right.
But apparently now, with Pegasus 2, all they need is your phone number. So all these security companies, I'm sure the NSA, anybody else, they just need your... Like, I had a conversation with a friend of mine about this last night. He's like, how do you handle that? I go, I assume that the government or someone is listening to everything I say,
Yeah.
every email. So I just don't say anything that stupid. I mean, if you go through...
That's good to live by,
But-
just in general.
If they wanted to go through my meme collection,
Yeah.
the things that I say, like, I have a chat with Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, and Ari Shafir, like
Yeah.
Protect Our Parks. We have a group chat, and it's the most fucking ridiculous shit. It's
Yeah,
constant chaos.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you can take any one of those things that looks horrible.
Yeah.
You pull it out,
Right.
but it's not for you.
Yeah.
It's for us. It's
Right.
4 comics talking shit to each other,
Right.
having fun.
That's great.
But that's just part of the program.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have the ability to explain that. Like I've said, did you do a thing with Greta Thunberg getting fucked in a gangbang? Like, I didn't make it. Somebody sent it to me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny.
Right.
I'm sorry if I
Right.
think inappropriate things are funny.
Right.
But you have to make that assumption. Like, kids don't understand that. Like, and I'm so glad there was no phones around when I was 15. There'd be 1,000 pictures of my dick.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be sending them to everybody.
I think everybody would have. I think everybody would have back in the day.
Chinese
Yeah.
weather balloon that flew over U.S. gathered intelligence from military sites. Oh.
I found this
man.
reported 2 days ago. This is a Irish site, Independent Ireland, and then another site called The Times. I don't know where it was from.
Interesting.
It was ad block, but there's reporting that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And they just basically explained it by saying it was a weather balloon. I mean, that's
Do we
that's
really
like
need weather balloons anymore?
That's a pretty bad lie.
Don't we have satellites? Why do you have a balloon?
It's a weather balloon. It just is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also probably a fuck you. Just fly a balloon over
Yeah.
your fucking
Yeah,
country. What are you going to do,
I think
bitch?
so too. Yeah.
There's got to be a
It
lot
was
of
a
that,
push.
man.
It was a push to see our response time on it. I think,
I guess. It's a
Yeah,
fucking...
or to see what we would do.
It's a weird world.
Yeah, here,
It's a
Gizmodo
weird
reporting
world.
The same thing.
Chinese spy balloon captured sensitive military info after all. U.S. officials say Beijing obtained U.S. military intelligence from a spy balloon that was shot down in early February. I've had Mike Baker on multiple times. A
The
friend
Fox
of mine.
guy, yeah.
He's a former CIA operative, and he essentially said that one of the things that China's been doing by the way they gather intelligence is they sell cell phone towers at a very low rate. And they install them all around these sensitive areas. So, like, if you go to where these military sites are, what is it, Wyoming? Is that where it was? Where he was explaining to us?
Is there Idaho, like in the
Yeah.
where they meet?
And all these areas where this sensitive intelligence is going on, it's like China has all these cell phone towers set up there, and it's their equipment that they put in. And we already know that that's the reason why they banned Huawei from the United States. And Mike talked about that as well, that Huawei was using, whether it's routers or all their different types of equipment that they were
Right.
selling, had third-party access. So they could, like, steal data, and they could steal intellectual property. So they could... We know that's like one of the things China does. They anytime the United States has an idea, they just copy it and make
Right.
it better.
Right.
And they constantly do that. And
Yeah.
Huawei was genius at it. Huawei, before they banned them, had the fucking best phones that you could get. And I was about to buy a Huawei phone like right before they got rid of them because they
Yeah.
had these crazy cameras and
And that's a Chinese company. Huawei.
yeah, they just push stuff to the edge, make the best shit available,
Right.
and then steal all the data. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand technology at all. I'm barely able to function on my phone.
Probably better that way.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a rabbit hole that if you go down to,
I got my Instagram jacked, and it's like I fell into a phishing scam or whatever, and I got it taken from me.
How'd they get you?
They said, do we have intellectual property, something, you're using something, clips or something that, it's my clip, but it was from like TV. And it's like, it's an intellectual property issue. And it's like, click here to figure it out or to clean it up. And I clicked on it, and the guy was like, he texted me, he's like, we got you. Yeah, he's like, we got you. And
So what did he say to you?
Send me $5,000 and I'll give you your account back.
Wow. So did you?
No, I said, but your sister says she's having a good time with me. And I just didn't respond because I didn't know, whatever. But I was like in a panic then because I was like, do they have other? I don't know stuff. So it's like, do they have my account all my information?
Right.
Like, I don't know if it's just Instagram. I don't know what's connected
Do they
to
have
what.
your credit card?
Yeah.
Facebook.
It's like I start panic. I start flipping out. You know what I mean? So I call my friend who's a tech guy, Ben Rosenfeld. Shout out to Ben. And he he's also a comic, and he helped me try to figure it out. But there is no recourse. There's no recourse for it. It's like you can file a complaint, but it's just basically gone. You can start a new account.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So your account's gone?
No, I didn't have to do that. I had another friend help me to get it back. He works for he has an account with a company, and the company helped me get it back, fortunately.
Wow.
But I mean, as an individual, as a private citizen trying to get that back, it's like deaf ears, man. They don't care.
Well, there's just too many of them, I think. I think it's happening at scale. It's like you're dealing with a company like, say, Instagram. How many people let's guess. How many people are on Instagram? What do you think?
Well, there's 350 million people in the country, right?
But in the world, there's
oh, yeah.
Instagram is worldwide.
Yeah, billions.
How many people do you think?
Billions.
Just take 2 billion? What do you think?
3 billion.
I'll say 2. Let's say, what do you think? How many people do you think are on?
It's probably about 1.
1 billion?
But daily active users would be less too. So.
Let's just find out how many accounts are on Instagram. Let's Google that. How many individual accounts are on Instagram? I'm saying 2 billion. What do you think, Jamie? You say 1? You say 2, 3?
Yeah, 3.
Facebook's the most, and it's not over 2 billion yet.
Oh, it isn't?
Pretty sure.
I thought it was. Facebook's worldwide.
Yeah.
Facebook changes elections in places. That's crazy.
Right.
I had Zuckerberg on, and you could tell, having a conversation with that guy.
Dang, I'm off.
What?
Instagram is 2.35 billion active users.
Wow, that's you.
Wow.
That's you.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot of people,
Yeah, I guess
man.
it would be hard for them to field. I guess it would be hard for them to field complaints or
But
whatever.
meanwhile, that's 4th amongst the biggest social media networks globally. So what's number 1? Facebook's number 1, 2.9 billion. YouTube is 2.2. I don't really consider YouTube social media, not that much.
Right.
Because maybe it is. I guess it is. But I don't use it that way. I use it for entertainment.
Yeah.
If I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching stuff like fights or
Clips, yeah.
WhatsApp is 2 billion. Well, WhatsApp is a communication app. I don't
Right.
think that's social media.
No.
Instagram 2.35. TikTok's only 1 billion. That's interesting. I would have thought it was way
Yeah.
more.
I think it is.
I think it's on the rise, though. Isn't TikTok like a
thing?
thing? And then Instagram Reels is competing with it, right?
Where's
So it's
Twitter? Where's Twitter? in
Yeah,
that?
I feel like Twitter's never been in the top 10.
Really? But it's not even in the top. It's way down there. 397 million.
Wow.
Wow.
I
Look at
think
all these
Twitter is
ones
like-
that are
yeah.
fucking way more.
Reddit.
Like Pinterest. Pinterest is 475 million. Reddit. Look at Reddit.
Yeah.
430 million. Woo!
I'm not on Reddit at all.
Reddit's
Thank God.
chaos. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah.
I know guys who go on Reddit and they read about themselves and they go down a dark road.
They get their feelings hurt bad.
Oh, there's a
Yeah, yeah.
bunch of intelligent vipers on
Facebook
Reddit.
runs the top 5, 3 of the top 5, which is a little strange because they've split them all up, and this could just be one app.
Well, you
Facebook
know,
Messenger could just be Facebook.
Yeah,
wasn't that
that's
one
true.
of the things that they asked ChatGPT? Like, do you think that Facebook is a monopoly and should it be broken up?
I mean,
And
absolutely.
They said yes.
Yeah. What did Zuckerberg say?
Well, I didn't ask him about
Yeah.
that. No, but for him, it was interesting because he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
And people think of him as like a robot and a thing. I think He's not that at all. He's a guy who created this thing a long ass time ago with no anticipation of what it was going to become. And then it became this fucking worldwide monster.
Right.
This thing that's just, it's so big. And you know, he's a pretty interesting guy and very forthcoming. He was explaining like about how the FBI contacted him about the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
And he explained it on the podcast, and it created a firestorm of controversy.
I'm sure.
Because he was just kind of casually explaining, well, the FBI told us that there was going to be some disinformation coming out of Russia, and you know, we were told that this and that, and so we limited its reach, and then it just was fucking giant news, like that this is just, I mean, this guy just created a fucking dating site for college kids,
right?
You know, X amount of years ago.
But he was instrumental in growing it, though, too. You know what I mean? And with that comes like bad stuff, obviously. You know, not just the good parts of it.
And also, I mean, most recently, he took a big blunder with that whole meta thing, where they thought that everybody was going to put on headsets and delve into the metaverse.
Oh yeah,
and that shit didn't work at all.
No, why?
It's too weird.
Yeah,
like, I love.
I mean, that's
VR.
that's close to. I mean, that will mess. I mean, you want to talk about social media fucking with your mind, like that meta stuff, like in a alternate reality. We'll just live in. You're basically getting closer to just being in a pod. You know what I mean, and having that on.
Yes.
You know, as your reality.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's just like, look, when I was a kid in the 1980s and 90s, there was
good times.
Good times. But there was times back then where people thought virtual reality was going to be the future. But the technology wasn't available. It didn't really work. But it was always this thought, you know, that one day we're going to live in virtual reality. And that was the Matrix. That was like all these different things. But it was like science fiction-y enough that it was so far ahead. And then the technology was kind of clunky, so it never really took off. But then when Oculus came around, and what were the other ones? There was another big one other than Oculus. Vive, that's right, the HTC Vive. That they were so good, you're like, ooh, maybe we're close. And there's some fun fucking games you can play on that. Apparently there's an Alien, like Alien 1, the movie game, that is fucking terrifying. And you play it, and you're on the Nostromo, that spaceship, and the fucking aliens in the spaceship, and you know, you're going down dark corridors, and rain's dripping, and you know, and then the thing just jumps out at you. It's fucking terrifying, apparently. But that, for whatever reason, they thought that was just going to just sweep the whole country, and everyone was going to...
And it was a virtual reality mask that you put on?
The
over
Oculus
your eyes?
is. Yeah, the Oculus, it's very light. The new one is very light. Like the old ones, we had the HTC Vive at the studio, and it had to be attached to a backpack, and there was like a cable that came above you, and we had the cable suspended from the ceiling, so we had like a sectioned off area where you could play in it. And then it got better, and John Carmack got involved, and you know, they made even better versions of it, and then it became something you just sit on your head. And then when that happened, I was like, oh boy, we're getting close now, because now it just sits in your head, and you have these two controllers in your hand. But it's still just, people are not that interested in it, which is interesting.
That's good, I think. I think it's a good thing not to be on it.
I think it's going to be the future. I think it's going to be something that's so wonderful and so exciting that you can't get out of it.
It's going to be weird how it morphs with your mind. It's going to eventually morph with your mind, right? So it'll be like part of you, kind of. That's where we kind of morph into the robot world, I guess.
That's happening. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of like, what is it, 10 years? Is it 20 years? Whatever it is. But technology is going to reach a point where it's so... Look, no one ever would have thought that you would have a thing in your pocket where you couldn't stop looking at it.
Right. I'm still amazed by it. Like, I'm in New York, you know, and I'm watching people just walk down the street with it on, and they're not conscious of anything else that is going on, and they're just walking down the street. It's dangerous. There's cars that could hit you. It's like they're just walking down the street, just immersed in it. Actually, if you're on the subway and you're not on it, if you're just staring forward, like, you're the weird one. You're the weird one. Everybody else, like, what's this guy doing?
If you get on a subway with a book, like, who the fuck is this guy?
Throwback.
You're reading a book?
Yeah.
A real book?
Yeah.
It's not even a Kindle?
Yeah. It's unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's...
I had the books on my phone now, so I'm reading it on my phone. That's amazing to me, I think, to have all that information, just a library.
Oh, yeah.
With a library app, You could just download books from the library on your phone and read them and return them. It's just, that's fantastic.
Well, I have most of the books that I consume audiobooks. I could on the way to work, coming home from work, in the sauna. That's where I do most of my listening to books. And I probably have 200, 300 books on this little tiny phone.
It's unreal.
And they're all hours long.
Yeah.
Like it's a terabyte of data on that phone. So there's so much room. And also it just stores it in the cloud anyway. So if there's no room, it's in the cloud. Then you download it and it's fucking... There's never been a time that you could have more access to information. But there's also never been a time where you're more distracted.
Yeah. That's the rub.
Yeah.
That's the rub. But if you're focused on the information, man, it's like... It's college. It's basically a college in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And people listening might be like, what do you, because people grew up with this, but we didn't.
Right.
Like I knew a time where this didn't exist at all. Like me and my brother had a room together. It was both of us, no TV allowed in the room, dinner together at a certain time, unless you're working or you're at a sports practice, you're having dinner. My father's playing music while we have dinner. We're talking about our day. Yeah. And then when we go to sleep, it's like a room, no television, because he didn't want us in our room watching television on our own. You want to watch television, you're out with the family.
Right.
It's that kind of thing. So I guess, it's a different world.
Yes.
And it's been a gradual thing, but it's still very, very different. Like I don't have kids, so I don't know how that would be. But I guess, like what you do, what you implement with your children,
it
sounds
difficult.
like the right thing.
They get mad at you.
Yeah.
Put your phone down.
Yeah.
They get mad because that little dopamine rush and it's not even a big rush.
Right.
That's what's weird. It's like this little drip of dopamine.
Yeah.
Blip, blip,
Yeah.
blip, blip. But you like, there's this pull. Like, well, is anybody texting you? Anybody, what's going on? He's like, I see some people on the podcast. They can't help but they reach for their phone.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like they just check their text messages.
And this is your podcast.
And it's giant. There's millions of people watching someone just look at their phone. It's like,
it's nuts.
But they can't help it. They just get so sucked in.
I've done it to the point where it's like when I first get up, I make sure I don't look at it and do other things first. And then I set time aside and I mentally prepare myself. I go, okay, now I'm going to look at it. I'm going to do as much as I want for 15 minutes, check everything, make sure everything's up, check the comments. And now that the special is out, like respond to people as much as I can. And then after that window is over, not again.
Yeah.
Now the trick is YouTube, because I like to watch stuff on YouTube. But it's like I don't want to get addicted to scrolling on YouTube either. Right. So that's the difference there. But
I'm definitely addicted to watching stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I have breakfast, I got this little. It's pretty cool. This little kickstand thing that sticks up with your phone.
That's great.
I think this is called a coup case or something like that. I forget what it's called. But it's like, bam. So I just sit there.
That's great.
And I'll watch stuff while I'm eating.
Right.
And I think I'm not addicted that way. Oh, I'm just being entertained.
But that's YouTube. You're watching substance there instead of mindlessly scrolling, which is what I was doing. And that creates so many bad like emotions and stuff. It's like I don't want to feel that way.
Isn't that weird that mindlessly scrolling creates bad emotions? Like what is that? Why does it do that? Is it just you feel like you're wasting time?
You're wasting time. You're seeing a bunch of different things, like, the energy coming from the thing. I'm a big energy guy, too. It's like the energy coming from it hits. Even when you're looking at I try that for a while, looking at my own. I'll just look at my own stuff. I won't look at everybody's stuff. But then you start getting like, how many likes does this have? How many? It's like
that's
you end up swimming in your own narcissism. So it's like, no, stop that now.
Yes, absolutely.
But my point is, I'm navigating this at 50 when my mind has already been developed. What chance do kids have developing through this time period?
It's a different world, but I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I really do. I think there's going to be a transitionary period where we lose a lot of kids. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they get lost in it. But there's going to be enough kids that recognize, like, okay, this is just the new reality of life. And if you want to be successful, just like you when you were young, you had focus and dedication, you realize there's a lot of people out that don't do that. And, I can learn from them what not to do.
Right.
There's kids that are doing that now, too. And, like, I have friends that very much limit their kids' access to social media. They don't allow them on things. They don't allow them to have a phone. I don't think that's the way to do it because this is a reality, and I think that if you give the kids the tools and the understanding to handle that, this is a new level of adversity that they have to deal with that we didn't have to deal with.
Right.
But it's the way I look at it, it's like cold weather. Like, if you grew up in a place with cold weather, you developed an understanding of what the fuck that means. Like, you got to shovel snow, you got to deal with it, and I think they have a new level of adversity because of the pressures of social media and because of like the shit talking, especially with girls. Man, girls are fucking mean to each other.
Yeah,
they reputation destruct in the comments and shit on each other and group chats, and it gets real nasty. And you developed a level of resilience from being able to handle that, and after a while, you get okay with it, and you have to understand what that is. But
you have to understand what that is. Yeah, and you're right. You're like going in with that mindset is the important thing.
It is.
But if you're just caught off guard with it, then it can crush you, and it has. It's driven people to suicide.
It definitely has done that. And there's also a thing, the FOMO aspect and the comparison. And this is apparently very bad with girls as well, because there's a lot of people that are using filters and they're changing their body.
Right.
And these girls see these people and they look perfect. And then they see themselves in the mirror and they have zits and they look like shit and maybe they're a little overweight and they get massively depressed.
Right.
And then they think, well, the only way for me, I have to be like that person.
Right.
So I have to do what they're doing and be completely focused on my looks. And some people just, unfortunately, through a genetic roll of the dice, they don't have good features.
Right.
They don't look good. They don't have a good body.
Right.
And then they just feel fucking depressed because they're comparing themselves to this thing. See, like, if you are a comic and you want to be a great comic, and you're kind of funny and you're figuring out, you can see like Chris Rock and you go, maybe I could get to that spot.
Right.
Maybe I can get there. But if you're a girl and you're born with an unfortunate appearance and you compare yourself to some bombshell who's like doing squats with her giant ass in front, you're like, I can't be that person. It's not attainable.
Right.
That's very, very depressing.
Very
to
difficult.
people. Very hard.
Very difficult to deal with.
Because the pressures of that, it's like that is one of the most important things on social media is to be attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a currency in and of itself. You know, there's people that I see on Instagram that are like, they have 45 million fucking followers.
Right.
And all they're doing is squats and you know, looking pretty.
And there's also a thing with placing undue value on that. Like 45 million, I'm a winner.
Right.
You have less, you're not.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And there's also something to be said for just being bored. Just let yourself be bored.
Yeah.
Let yourself be uncomfortable. Let yourself, just sit in the void once in a while and not be bored. Be unhappy. It's okay to be unhappy. It's okay to be uncomfortable. And I think that gets lost a lot because of this instant gratification.
Well, I think for comics, being bored is very important because that's where some of the ideas come from.
Yeah.
And the people that don't, like Goggins, when he runs, he don't listen to shit.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
He listens to his breath, maybe.
He listens to his inner demons. His conversations with the fucking room in hell that he has in the back of his head. And he tells those demons who the fuck the boss is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't
But
do
the
that.
guy who wrote Game of Thrones is, that guy's from Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the level of imagination, the detail that he must have had in imagining this world.
Uh-huh.
If he would have had a phone, maybe that doesn't happen.
Sure.
You know?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. It's possible. But I mean, it's also possible.
Or if he was a hot guy. You know what I mean? Like if he was a hot guy and had option of all these women and going to the beach and lifting and all that stuff, like maybe he doesn't write that, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not reading Mario Lopez's book. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He's too hot.
He's too hot.
He's too hot.
Good looking guy. Fucking great body.
Yeah.
Looking
just
fancy.
winner all the way through in his life. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that guy?
And supposed to be a pretty good boxer.
Yeah, he's a very good boxer. Yeah. He's done jiu-jitsu now too. Competed in tournaments. He's a good blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Yeah.
And abs, like when he was on Saved by the Bell, like I remember he was like a wrestler on Saved by the Bell. And Saved by the Bell fan, by the way. And he was he just was shredded then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shredded all the way, always, I'm sure he works hard.
Oh yeah.
But like physically gifted.
Right, but he's not gonna write a Game of Thrones.
Right.
Maybe he will.
Right.
What the fuck do I know? But the odds are that's not gonna happen. One of my favorite authors is the guy who wrote Conan, Robert E. Howard.
Yeah.
And Robert E. Howard was a recluse, a shut-in, lived with his mother, committed suicide in his early 30s.
Right.
but the fucking books that he wrote, like those fantasy novels of Conan, that were fucking amazing when I was a kid. And this is a guy who was, kind of a shut-in and kind of a, very depressed.
Right.
And he wrote about this conqueror. It was like this perfect man who just destroyed things and fought off dragons and demons and, and it was amazing work. But if he was, some beautiful, hot man, probably that wouldn't have gotten written.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing about creativity. It's like it's this very strange sort of force that you have to figure out how to tune into.
Right.
And if you're tuned into other stuff, you're not going to give it the time that it deserves.
Yeah, but the fact that he couldn't be that hot, popular guy, it forced his mind. Mine is just so powerful.
Yeah.
And it forced you to go to another place.
Yeah, well, the ability to write fiction is so fascinating because and it's so engaging when someone writes a good book and you're into this character and these fucking scenarios and it's like all fake, all invented in this person's mind, but it's your fucking heart is pounding, your hands
and it's not
are
like
clammy.
a movie because there's no filter on it. It's just their thoughts.
Yeah.
It's them constructing it.
Yeah.
So there's not these other people putting their hands into it.
Yeah,
that's why it's raw.
Yeah, that's a big one, right? There's not a bunch of jack-offs fucking with the stew.
Yeah,
adding their own ingredients
because they want to be part of it.
Have you ever worked on a television show where that?
No, I was fortunate enough for Attell to bring me into his Dave's Old Porn.
Oh,
I
you
consulted with him on
with
that. Dave's Old Porn, yeah.
I fucking
Comedy
never
Underground
did
with Dave Attell.
Did I do an episode of that? Wait a minute. I think I did. That's
maybe when he was out.
That's how many fucking things I've done. I don't even remember what I've done.
That's pretty
bizarre.
great.
I did do it. Isn't that hilarious? Like I was about to say, I wish I did that.
I thought you did.
Meanwhile, I did do it. Yeah. But Dave, that was a fun thing for him because he's kind of a pervert. So for him to watch porn with the old porn stars and
the
sit
classic
there and joke around.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah.
The classic porn.
There's something about those watching things, like Mystery Science Theater, like that kind of thing, watching and mocking thing. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's great.
Hilarious.
Did you, if you don't remember doing it, you probably won't remember if that was in New York or L.A.
I believe it was in L.A.
It was in L.A.?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in L.A. But
because I was on set when he was shooting the ones in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think me and Kurt Metzger.
Oh, really?
Work with Dave
Metzger's
on.
the best.
He's great.
I love that dude.
He's great. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's great on Jimmy Dore show. I don't know if you've ever seen him on the Jimmy Dore show. Jimmy Dore has a YouTube channel, like a political thing, and Kurt is like his sidekick.
Oh, really?
And so Kurt is always like chiming in about things. But what's interesting is I've been friends with Kurt for a long time, and now whenever I talk to Kurt, he's always fucking scaring the shit out of me because he's so well read about what's going on in the world. Kurt Metzger was the first person that contacted me about this restrict bill, which is what they're using to say they need to stop things like TikTok. And then you go into what the restrict bill is. You're like, oh my God, this has nothing to do with TikTok. They want the ability to lock down anything that's on social media and stop people from spreading information that's dangerous to whatever narrative they're trying to push.
Right.
And we went over it in depth yesterday. It's fucking terrifying. The ambiguity, the way that they're able to frame what is what they're able to target. It's
it'll come down to
shit.
keywords, I'm sure.
But
just keywords.
Metzger is so involved in that world now because he's on Jimmy's show that he's always looking at corruption and this and that and what's happening in Ukraine and what's
it's a comedy. It's a comedy, right?
It is a comedy. It's a political show a political social show where they Jimmy Dore is a comic and Metzger is a great comic, and the two of them together, they just talk shit and laugh about how fucking crazy modern day politics and influence and insider trading and all the shit that's going on, and Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX and where the money was coming from and how they were all doing it and how they got away with it. And he scares the shit out of me every time I talk to him. When I get a text from Kurt, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, am I going to get fucking panic now? And I just start reading his stuff. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? I'm like, no, don't do this to me.
I know. Kurt on coffee
is
the best. But no, it was really a good time because we sit and watch think of jokes, all the jokes about this old porn, and it was great. So I was very fortunate to be brought into that. And then comedy.
That was early on. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago now. And because I would do spots late at the Comedy Cellar, and that's when Dave would be there. And so I would, do my set and then watch his set, and then we would hang out, talk jokes and stuff afterwards. So I was very fortunate in that way because he's an all-time great.
Oh, he's one of my favorite comics of all time.
He's one of my favorite people too. He really is. I don't see him that much anymore because I don't put in late at the Cellar, but just really great times, man. Really great times.
He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
And he's so sweet to everybody. Like when he does clubs, he brings candy for the waitresses and stuff. He's just so nice, man. Like all that guy cares about is stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
His stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
He came here and he takes care of his mom in New York and all he cares about is just getting up and doing jokes.
Yeah.
And his attitude was like, I want to go on early. These young guys, let them have their spots. I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to get in the way. I'm just going to come in and just work on my new stuff. And so he'll get up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning in the Cellar. There's 14 people there, and there's David Tell's on stage, one of the best comics that's ever lived.
It's unreal.
And he's there because that's when he wants to go up.
Right.
Like he can go up at 9 p.m.
He can do whatever he wants.
Hot crowd and just murder every night with old material.
Yeah.
He does not.
Nope.
No, he's a fucking real pro.
He likes to go on late, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's really a great example for up-and-coming comics.
Yeah.
You get to see how that guy does it.
Yeah.
Because you just when you think you're pretty good, you think and he's going up to a tired crowd.
I had a thing where I was opening for him at the Wilbur in Boston, and for some reason they didn't have a liquor license or something. So it was at the
Wilbur did
it didn't for some reason when we were there.
Oh, okay.
So it was a 2-man show. I was going up, and then I was bringing him up. And there's no liquor, so I was like, oh, this is probably going to be pretty tough. So I go up and do 20, and I'm murdering. I'm killing really hard, and I bring him up. And then I'm sitting on the side of the stage, kind of feeling good about myself. I go, you know what? Time is coming.
I got it.
I'm doing pretty good for myself. The way that I slayed that cold crowd was pretty awesome. I think I'm on my way. And then I started just listening to him and the laughs he was getting. And I was getting laughs, but he was just getting, the depth of the laughter.
Yeah.
And with every joke was hitting harder and harder, and his setups were hitting, and then the punchlines obviously hitting, and then 2 tags on the end hitting. It's like the guy does comedy the way that Pacquiao used to fight.
Yeah.
He would hit you and then turn 2 more times, turn you, and then 2 or 3 more times, and then get out. And you're like, the guy's just on the ground by that point. Mm-hmm. So he's doing that, and I'm just listening, and it's like, I'm at the Cellar late, so I know the material, but he's doing material I haven't heard before, and he's murdering at a level that's just crazy. And at the end of it, it's like none of those people in that crowd even remembered who I was. It's like, that's how good he is.
Yeah, they leave the show and go, oh my God, David Tell's the best. That first guy was okay. The first guy's pretty funny.
I don't even think they remembered there was a first guy.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how hard he hits.
Yeah, he went up at the Improv one night, and it was the Improv in Hollywood, and it was a pretty late show, and I had gone on earlier in the night, and then I saw Dave at the bar. I'm like, what's up? What's going on? When are you going up? He's like, going up. And the crowd was kind of tired, and a couple people went up, and you know, like when you have a late show, like a 10 p.m. show, when it gets like 11:30, 12 o'clock, people are checking their watch. They got to be up at 7, and they start thinking about leaving.
Right.
And then I was like, wow, this crowd's it's kind of done. Night's done.
Right.
And Attell went up, and it was like he plugged the audience back into the electricity. It was like, and just fucking murdered, effortless murdering, and just tag after tag. And I remember sitting in the back going, my God, this guy's a treasure.
A treasure is the right word for him.
National
He's a
treasure.
National treasure.
National treasure. And I don't think enough people understand it. Like, he should be in arenas.
Yeah.
Dave Attell should be selling out Madison Square Garden anytime he wants to, instantly.
Right.
And he's doing clubs, and he loves it. And he's happy.
Right.
He's like a real club comic. He likes doing all the sets. He likes doing 4 shows in a weekend. He likes it.
Yeah.
It's
unbelievable.
amazing.
And he's not a fame guy either.
No.
Like, he's not a fame guy. Like, he'll talk to me. He's not a fame guy at all. We were at the Cellar. You know, the Cellar, it's like Chris Rock will come there. Like, he's not there all the time, but it's not, you know, if you see Chris Rock there, you know, it's
not
not
uncommon.
crazy. Yeah, it's
Right.
not uncommon. Chappelle, the same way. If you see him there, it's not crazy. Seinfeld once in a while. But Adam Sandler was there one time, and it's like they sit at the back table, and you can just feel the energy when there's somebody like a Chappelle or a Chris Rock back. The energy kind of changes. Like people perk up. The people who are there eating, everybody notices. The comics start, their antennas go up, and I understand, you know, the energy. So Adam Sandler happens to be back there, and he's never there. And Dave walks in with his, you know, goes to the bar to get his coffee or whatever, hood up, and Adam Sandler goes, Dave, and Dave's just in his own world. Attell. And finally he comes up to him and goes, hey, Dave. He goes, hey, what's up, Adam? And then he goes, how you doing, man? Doing pretty good. How are you? Good. And then he goes outside and smokes. He just cuts out and goes outside. Everybody's like angling to see if they can talk to Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler's like screaming Dave's name until he gets his attention. How are you? Pretty good. Good, man. Okay. And then he goes out and smokes on the porch. It's it's classic, man.
He's a real comics comic.
Yeah.
Like the best version of a comics, like a master of his craft who
Right.
doesn't get the appreciation that he deserves,
Right.
and who is universally respected
Right.
by his peers.
Yeah.
That's Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He is.
Yeah,
So
he's one of the greats of all time in my mind.
me too.
It's so important to have guys like that around.
Yeah.
And the guys in New York are so fortunate. And unfortunately also he has a lot of babies. Like what Patrice would call babies. It was like someone who like copies your style. You'll hear guys talking like this. They have a setup and a punchline.
I know.
It sounds like
Yeah,
Dave.
you got to stop listening to him. I did
Right.
that for a while too. It's like you got to stop listening to him. You got to stop after a while, and it's hard because you want to go because he'll turn you if you're watching him. It's like he'll turn you. When you're watching another comic, you'll go, "What's his angle on this?
Right.
What's his angle on this? I'm curious to see what his angle is on." Even Chris Rock, some of the greats, you know. But with Attell, you go down. If you go down with that mindset, like I wonder what his angle is on this. After 3 jokes, you just become a fan because you're gut laughing.
Right.
You're gut laughing like the rest of the people in the crowd. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's that. He turns you into a comedy fan.
And then
Again.
the problem is you go on thinking about his act, and then you compare your own material. And you're like, oh my God, I hate my jokes now.
Oh my God, that's the biggest thing. It's like his throwaway stuff is is better than your main stuff.
Well, that's one of the best things about those showcase style clubs is that you do work with these killers, and you have to sort of reevaluate your material.
Yeah.
If you know you're going to go on after Shane Gillis, like Shane was in town this week, and Shane right now is, in my mind, for my money, he's got 15 minutes that could fuck with anybody's 15 minutes that's ever lived. He's a goddamn assassin.
Yeah.
He goes on stage. He was going on stage as the Mothership, and I watched some of these comics that had to follow him going, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because he's just throwing heaters.
Yeah.
It's like 99-mile-an-hour fastball after 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And he's so likable.
Yeah.
And he's such a good guy. And he's
Yeah,
so
he
funny.
really
and,
is.
and his facial expressions are so great.
Yeah.
And he's got his, like, when he got canceled, that whole SNL thing.
Right.
And he got kicked off of SNL, devastated. But he emerged like a fucking phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah.
He's way better than he was back then.
Right.
He's like one of the best top 10 comics on planet Earth, without doubt, right now.
He's fantastic.
And it came out of that pressure.
Yeah.
And now he's the one who like freaks people out.
Yeah.
When they know that Shane's going up, he's going to do that Trump impression. When he does Trump at the debates, like the fucking show is over.
And it's not just that; it's very punched up all the way through. It's like that New York style, and he came out of Philly.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great to see his success.
It's punched up, and it's also like it's so smart.
Yeah.
Like he's got a bit about George Washington because Shane has a deep knowledge of history. He really reads a lot about history, knows a lot about history, so he can incorporate that. And there's like layers to his comedy because of his understanding of things. So he's setting things up, but he's doing it in a fun way where even the setups are funny.
Yeah.
So
that's
nice
a big
to
thing.
see.
That's a discipline in and of itself to get a laugh on the way to the punchline.
And to structure it that way and to like reevaluate and go, okay, maybe there's probably a funnier way to get into this. Let me figure out the right way. And
it's nice to see the funniest guys win.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, don't you think that in stand-up, there is a meritocracy in stand-up that's undeniable? There's guys who get more popular than maybe like the Attell guys. And so you go, well, maybe there's not a meritocracy, but for us it is. Like the best guys are always the best guys. If you're sitting around with a group of comics and you just watch the show, you're like, oh my God, this guy fucking killed.
Right.
Like, holy shit, that was good. Like that meritocracy, like that exists in stand up. Like if you're not funny, if it doesn't work, nobody cares about you.
Right.
And that's just how it is. There's no cult of personality that can carry you over. You can't dress in a way that's going to get people to like you more.
Right.
You know, like, boy, you see his outfit? Nobody gives a fuck about your outfit. Attell wears the same goddamn outfit every night.
I know.
He probably has like 3 versions of that black button-up shirt, 3 versions of that baseball hat, his same goddamn jeans.
Right. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. He's so nondescript.
Yeah.
It's almost like he wants to blend in.
Right.
He wants to blend in and wants to just be the vehicle for the material.
Right. But to your point, there's a skill set at play,
Yeah.
and we all know the skill set, and other hardcore comedy fans know the skill set, and the waitresses, because they see it every night.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So they know smoke and mirrors, and they know what's real.
Do you know Eleanor Kerrigan?
Yes.
So Eleanor was a waitress at the Comedy Store for like, I don't know, like maybe 10 years before she ever did stand-up. And we were always, I would go to Eleanor when someone would say, oh, this guy's really funny. And I'd go to, have you seen him? And she'd go, he's a fucking hack. I go, really?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, it's all tricks and bullshit and smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
She'd have like a fucking tray of drinks. Like, he sucks.
They know.
And then you would watch him and go, oh my God, she's right. Like, so she was a comedy fan from being there and like doing, and then eventually we all knew she was hilarious. It just took time for her to have the courage to go on stage.
Right.
Now she's a headliner, killing all over the country.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But knowing her as an open micer and knowing her as a waitress before she was an open micer, she was one of the people that I would go to if I would ask her, like, hey, how did this person do? How was this person? And she would tell you in a way that, like, she wasn't jealous because she wasn't a comic, but she was like deeply embedded in the comedy world.
Because you can kill without a skill set.
Yes.
You can kill without a skill set.
Personality.
Right.
And goofiness.
Yes.
And you can. And some people, that's like their whole, and some people are great at it.
Right.
And that's their whole career.
Right.
You know, but there's something about the well-crafted act that, to me, is like, I will watch that every time.
Me too.
Yeah. If I'm leaving and then I find out someone really good is going on stage, I'm like, I'm going to stick around.
Yeah.
I need to see that. And that's the real education that a guy gets if you're in New York. Like if you are, you're on these shows with Greer Barnes, you're on these shows with Dave Attell, you're on these shows where you get to watch all these fucking killers over and over and over again.
And as a comic, you know it's real. And you're like, God, I'm blown away by this. Greer Barnes is another one.
I've known Greer forever.
He's great,
I did shows with him in the 90s.
So great and such a pleasant guy to see. Every time I see him, it's like a hug. He's just a fantastic guy. And he's in the back. If he's listening he'll just gut laugh. You'll hear him laughing in the back.
Yeah.
He's such a supportive guy.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn is another guy. Okay, now that I'm not doing at the Cellar Late anymore, I'm more early, so I'll see Colin Quinn more. He's just, he's another
Brilliant.
guy. He's brilliant, man.
I remember
And
I did Tough Crowd, and when I did Tough Crowd, Colin would do stand up in front of the audience.
I love that.
And when I'd say, like, he fucking murdered so hard, and then the show would go on, and I wanted to say, this show is great, but it's not as good as a stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like people don't know.
Yeah.
Like, he's just the host of stand-up, and he's kind of the ringleader, and so he's wrangling all these cats and getting all these comics to kind of stay on topic of all the different things they're talking about on Tough Crowd. But I'm like, my God, the best thing is the warm-up.
And Colin's famous.
Yeah.
He's famous. He's just, you know what I mean? But I don't think that people appreciate him at the level that they need to appreciate him.
It's like Attell.
It's like,
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Like, we appreciate it. Like, if we know that Colin's going on stage, everyone's going to watch him. But I think for the average but it's also, that's why they're so good, because they don't have this desire for fame. They just have desire to do great work.
Right.
And they're not thinking about promoting. They're not thinking.
Right.
Like, is Colin even on social media? I don't think I've ever seen a post of his.
I think he's on Twitter. I don't know if he's on Instagram.
I don't think I've ever even saw a thing that he put up.
Yeah.
But he's universally respected amongst comedians. It's just like, he's a purist.
Yeah.
He's only, and he does those one-man shows like Red State, Blue State. It's like brilliant
prolific.
stuff.
Super prolific, man.
Always working
and hits
and writing.
You. Yeah, hits you.
Yeah. That's that's one of the real beautiful things about these communities, like a community. And that's what I'm trying to establish here in Austin.
Right.
And that's why I put together that club. And that's why I set it up so there's open mic night 2 nights a week,
That's
every
awesome.
Sunday, every Monday.
That's really great.
And there's like all the people that work there, like the doormen and those are all comics.
Yeah.
And they auditioned as comics to get that job.
That's great.
So
That's
they
a
had to
great
do
system,
sets
yeah.
in front of Adam Egget. They do these sets. People evaluate their sets,
Right.
and then you have the ability to do these door guy showcases where you're going in front of fucking packed houses,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
It's
and then,
good that there's a ladder in
Yes.
place, you know, because I went through that in the city as far as like in 2008 I did live at Gotham. You know, me and Nate did it the same year, live at Gotham. Then 2010 I did a Comedy Central half hour. I don't know if they even still have that anymore, but a Gotham set is 8 minutes, half hour's 22 minutes. Then you work your way up to an hour. You know what I mean? It's like there's a ladder to climb
Yes.
with your skill set.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, it doesn't really exist anymore.
Well, one of the things we want to establish here is we want to have a real clear path to becoming a professional. And that if you put together like a real set and then you start doing guest sets on the big shows in
Yeah.
the big room,
Yeah.
and then maybe a guy like David Lucas or a guy like Brian Simpson will take you on the road.
Right.
And say, hey, you want to open for me in Seattle? And then you go with him.
Right.
He flies you out, and then you get to see what it's like to be in a new state
Right.
and a new crowd and that feel. And then you'll have a clear path to being a professional.
Right.
And the more professionals there are, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah.
The more guys make it, the more girls make it, the more it's just better for comedy.
Yeah.
All around.
And it's better that it's nice that you're doing it according to the skill set. Because some guys develop, like I think Shane developed fast. He developed very quickly. Not that he didn't put in the work, but it's just some guys are like that. Some
Yeah.
guys run a 4.240. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like if you're developing fast, like Tommy Johnigan was a guy like that. I think he did a Comedy Central half hour like 3 years into comedy. But he had it. He was very good.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he's a writer now. But he was
He's not doing stand-up anymore?
I think he's kind of dabbling, but he was writing on like network shows.
That's a trap.
Supremely talented person.
That's a trap.
Writing on a network show?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who
Yeah.
are really funny guys. Do you know Owen Smith?
Yes.
Owen Smith's one of the best comics alive.
Yeah.
And I would see Owen at the store, and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, how is this guy not world famous?
Right.
I didn't understand. He has the personality, the charisma, the timing, the material, the writing, everything. But he works in Hollywood. And
Yeah.
he's always writing. And so
Right.
he's always writing on these sitcoms, and
Yeah.
he exists in that world, and it's a steady paycheck, and
Yeah.
he's got a family.
Right.
And you get trapped.
Yeah.
And I've seen guys get sucked into that, and they don't get the career that they deserve.
It wouldn't be a trap for a less talented person,
Right.
right? But for him,
Right.
it's like he should be like,
Right. There's some guys that are really good writers, but they're just not comfortable performing,
Right.
and they don't like it, and it gives them anxiety, and they would rather just write.
Right.
They're more introverted.
Yeah.
But they're really talented. For them, that's great. But there's guys that are talented performers that get that gig, and then they get that steady paycheck
Right.
every week, and then
Yeah.
you get in that system where, there's a new show, we
Yeah,
want
yeah.
you to be a co-executive, this or that.
right.
And then, you go, well, the wife wants a pool,
That's
and
right.
The next thing you know, you're trapped.
That's right.
And then you see these other guys that started even after you, and they're doing arenas. And you're like, oh my God, if I had stayed on the path, I would be doing arenas.
Right.
Like in my mind, Owen Smith should be doing arenas. Like 100%. When I
Yeah.
see him at the store, I'm like, Jesus, that guy's good.
Yeah.
But he's on that network path. He's
Right.
on that sitcom. I think he's a showrunner now, which is great.
That's great.
I mean, that's really good money.
Yeah.
But
But it's that
I want
stability
the
thing.
world, as a comic, I want the world to know.
Right.
I want the world to know how good that guy is.
Right. But it's the stability versus the rolling the dice.
It's a
Because
trap.
just because
Yeah.
you're that good doesn't mean you're going to get that kind of exposure. Maybe eventually it'll happen.
It's
But you
way
might have
more
to,
likely.
You might have to walk through fire.
You're going to walk through fire.
Yeah.
No matter what. If you don't have a draw, but you do have the skill set, you're walking through fire. I don't give a fuck, because you're going to do a half-filled show in Columbus, Ohio, where they have to
Right.
paper the room because no one knows who you are yet.
Right.
And even if you're a fucking killer, it takes years and years.
Yeah.
Which is the problem, right? It's like it kind of takes like 10 years of that grind on the road before the word gets out.
Right.
Or a few years at
Right.
least. And that's hard to do when you're used to those steady checks, and it's really hard to do if you have people
A
relying on
family.
you.
Yeah,
That's the hard
Yeah,
one.
because you have to explain it to them.
You're not going to. Yeah, you're gonna take that job, and you're gonna
Yeah.
hope that something magic happens, and it
Right.
allows you to like leapfrog everything, and then just go straight into big theaters and arenas. But It doesn't happen. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Because you're just not focused on it. I get it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I tell these young comics today. I'm like, the best thing that you could do is concentrate on yourself,
Right.
meaning that work on your act, and instead of like hoping to get hired to do something, create your own thing, create a podcast.
Right.
And that's the most freedom you're ever going to have.
Yeah.
And it's the best.
And you can make it
vehicle.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be, you know, and then it's a lot of trial and error.
For sure.
You know?
And it grows. It
Yeah.
grows over time. But even that, like I know comics that like want to start a podcast now, and then they're like, oh, only 2,000 people are downloading my shit. Like, yeah, next week it'll be 2,100.
Right.
And that's how it goes.
Or sometimes you need to end the podcast and shift to something else, like another idea.
Maybe.
I think.
But I think with podcasts, the most important thing is consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
And a lot of guys, they start out and they do it for a little while, and then they lose focus, and then they stop doing it, and I'm going to
Yeah.
restart my podcast. I'm like, when people say that, that's the feeling that I used to get when people stop fighting, and then they would take like 3 years off and then
Right.
come back to the gym again. I'm thinking about taking some fights. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, you're lost.
Yeah.
Because you gotta
Yeah.
stay on the
Yeah.
path.
Right.
Because like we were talking about, you're building a mountain out of layers of paint.
Right.
And if you take a few years off or whatever you're taking off, those layers don't stay at the level they were at before. They deteriorate, and now you
Yeah.
have to rebuild, and that's a daunting process. I think, but that's probably the case with anything that's hard to
Right.
do.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's true. But I think it's wonderful that you're creating a environment where people can work hard, raise their level, and then they get to another level.
Yeah.
And they're working their way up.
Also,
that's very important as
they're
far as
getting
motivation
to
goes.
see killers.
Yeah.
They're getting to see these people that, like Big J Okerson was there last
Big
night.
J's
And,
one of the funniest people.
oh, he was amazing. Ari Shafir was there last night.
Ari's
It's like, so
wonderful.
they're getting to see these people
Yeah.
that they've seen on television,
Right.
they've seen on YouTube, and it's exciting to see
Yeah.
them in real life and know. And,
Yeah.
and if that person comes up to them and goes, "Hey, man, I love that bit," like, ooh, when you're
Yeah.
a young person coming up and someone tells you that your thing is good, like,
Right.
oh, it's so exciting.
But it's a very unselfish thing for you to do because you could be doing whatever you wanted now, and to put your focus back on that by pulling other people up. I
It's
think
also
is really
selfish.
something.
It's also selfish because it helps me. It's I wouldn't say it's selfish, but it's not like I don't benefit from it. I benefit from it by having that environment where I can work out.
Right.
And I know that if you put together a gym filled with killers,
Yeah.
you could say like, oh, well that's great that you did that for those guys. Yeah, but it's for me too.
Right.
Like, because that's what you need. I always tell comics, like, you can't be the funniest guy in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Right.
Because, like, there's no one else there. And so it's hard to develop, like, a real act. When, like, if you want to learn jiu-jitsu and you're only training with white belts, you're only going to get so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
You got to be around killers.
Right. You got to be around killers.
And that's the thing with comedy, and I think it's probably the thing with music, and it's probably with everything else. You get inspired by the excellence of other people around you, and it raises your own personal expectations.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I know that just from wrestling. Like, you're wrestling in a tougher. You just
Sure.
you become much tougher.
Yeah, I mean, you came out of Ohio. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking animals come out of Ohio.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
there's a
the team was
long
very good.
history of killer wrestlers that come out of Ohio.
But you are as tough as you're, and especially for a guy like me, athletically, I wasn't the most athletic guy. So it really depended on the program in the room. If I was in a good program, I was tough. But
Yeah.
when the program fell off, I wasn't as good, wasn't as effective.
Of course.
So
'cause it's hard to push yourself.
Yeah.
It's hard to push yourself to the level that a great room will push you by
Yeah.
yourself. Almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That level of competition. And it's the same in stand-up. Mm-hmm. Guys coming out of New York, it's like guys are good. Mark Norman,
Mm-hmm.
Shane, these guys, Sam Morrell, these guys, Chris D.
Yeah,
these guys have
yeah.
all been on your show. It's like these guys came up through that club system.
It's also
Dan
the
Soder, who was
camaraderie.
Dan Soder was
hilarious.
my roommate
Oh,
for
that's
10
great.
years.
I love Dan.
Love him.
But it's also the camaraderie. Like, no one understands comics like comics do.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a place where you can be yourself.
Yeah.
You no matter what, you're around these people. Like, when I'm around comics, it's not like, oh, there's that Joe Rogan guy, the podcast guy. It's like, no, these are my friends.
Right.
It's normal.
Right.
Like, I know you guys. I've known everybody for 20 years.
Right.
You can hang out. It's more comfortable. It's like they're your peers.
Right.
That's your group.
That's the other thing people don't realize, like how long we've known each other.
Yeah.
A lot of us. Like, I've known guys in New York, like I've known them for like 20, since I've been there, 20
Yeah.
years. And it's like somebody new comes into the situation and it's all good, but I don't know if they realize how long we've been in that scene together
Right.
in a long time.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's a fucking long way. It's not something that's going to happen quickly. And everybody in this world wants things to happen quickly.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be a millionaire by the time they're 25.
Yeah.
They want to do this and that. I have all
Yeah.
these expectations and aspirations, which is great. It's great to be ambitious, but if you want to do that with comedy, and you
Yeah.
want to write material, and you want your act to develop, that is a fucking grind. You are running through rose bushes naked for years.
Yeah.
And there's nothing other than that that's going to get you there.
That's right. And it's a process.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the thing. You got to fall in love with the process.
Yeah. But that's also what helps being around fun people. Because even if it's like a brutal, bloody process, you
Yeah.
can still hang
Yeah.
out with the guys and talk shit and laugh.
And all kinds
look
of
forward to
personal
it.
shit happens along the way too. And it's like you rely on these people for support, or your
Yeah.
friends or your peers, and like picking you up and trying to turn it into a bit, or trying to turn it into something, fantastic.
Yeah. It's a fun gig, man. It's a fun way to make a living, and
Yeah.
it's a fun way to get through life. We were talking about it last night where we just did a show, and afterwards we're all sitting around relaxing and having fun, smoking pot, and I was like, could you imagine living your whole life and never killing? Because
Yeah.
like we went through that with the pandemic where like comedy was stopped, and I was like, I guess maybe I'll never do comedy again.
Right.
I've told this story, but it's a crazy story where Ron White had kind of resigned himself to retirement. And he's like, I think I'm done. I mean, I fucking did it all. You know, blue collar tour. I
Right.
got a jet. I'm gonna fucking sell my boat. He's like, I'm just gonna fucking relax. I got money in the bank. I'm gonna play golf.
Right.
And then we did a show in November of 2020 at the Vulcan Gas Company down the street on 6th Street. And Tony Hinchcliffe had the show. He put it up, and he put Ron White up. And I was already talking about putting together a comedy club. I was trying to find a spot, and then I was actually telling everybody I think I found the spot, and I wound up not using that place and getting another place. But Ron goes on stage, and he hadn't been on stage in like a long time, like 8 months or something like that. Went on stage and fucking murdered.
Wow.
Murdered. And then he comes off stage and he grabs me by the shoulders. He goes, whatever the fuck we have to do to keep doing that, we're going to do it.
That's great.
And he goes, get your fucking club open. Let's go. And I was like, God damn.
That's
It was
great.
like he had electricity coming
Yeah.
off. Like,
Yeah.
Because
That just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter. Like that feeling is what's important to us.
There's nothing like it. It's
Yeah.
also, you understand more than anybody how hard it is to put all that stuff together and to figure out a way to say it in a way that's going to
Man.
get the laughs and
That's
resonate.
it. That's really it. There's
Yeah.
nothing like when you're sitting there and you're turning the bit, however you're doing it, writing it out. I do notes on my phone, but you're like kind of saying it in your head, and then you're like, that moment where you're like, I think I got something here.
Yeah.
I think I really got something here. And then the satisfaction of taking that and trying it on stage and then getting you're like, okay, I got it. I got a punchline. And it's like, now I'm going to keep coming. I don't know what your process is. Mine's I just keep coming at it. Just
Yeah.
keep coming.
Yeah.
Keep coming every morning. Jokes. Keep throwing jokes at it. Keep asking questions about it. And then when you have it, it's just, there's no feeling like it. Even
Yeah.
fame, whatever, it's like money. It's like there's no feeling like having that bit and just having it murder like all the way through from beginning to end.
Having a new tagline.
Yeah.
That just murders.
Yeah, just something that simple.
Yeah.
God,
It's the best.
I really love it, man.
It's the best.
I really love it.
Do you write in front of a computer? Do you write on a notebook? Do you just write on your phone? How do you do
I
it?
used to do journaling, I was like, because coming up with premises, it's like there's so many funny things that happen to us every day, or potentially funny things. It's like just journaling makes you conscious of it because there's so many things that slip by. Like on the way here, I had brass knuckles, but they're wood. I worked Hilarities in Cleveland, and the owner, Nick Costas, he gives me a gift every time I do it. I don't know if he does it for everybody, but the time before he gave me a baseball bat. And this time it was wooden brass knuckles. He's a great guy. It's a fantastic club. So he gives me these wooden brass knuckles. And I'm going through security at Fort Lauderdale Airport to come here, and they flag my bag and they bring it over, and the guy goes, What's this? I immediately go, Nick Costas, hilarity. I immediately give up his name and snitch. I'll wear a wire. I am a snitch.
For wooden brass knuckles
Wooden
are
brass
illegal?
knuckles. Yeah,
They're not
I don't
even
know
brass,
how.
Though.
No, they're not brass. They're wooden, and I don't know how it hijack a plane. It's like, take this to Yemen or this guy gets a splinter, you know? So it's like, but they were like, and I was rushed. So he's like, do you want to check your bag or you could just give it up? I'm like, I'll just give it, I'll just give it up. But it's like a brass, like for them to take that, I think they're wooden. He gave them to me wooden so they would get through security.
That's funny.
But for them to do it. But like my point is that journaling, like I never would have thought twice about that, but it's like journaling brings that out. So sometimes I'll do that if I feel like nothing is happening. But then I'll take bits on my phone and I'll just, like I went to jury duty and I'll just, I'm like, there's so many funny things here about jury duty, trying to get out of it, the way they threaten you. In New York anyway, they go, you have to serve or you're going to go to jail for a year. It's like,
really?
Well, they're going to have to pick a jury for my trial.
Is it really the case? You go to jail for a year?
They say it's a year or a $60,000 fine or something like that. It's like, I don't know, maybe 60,000 was too high, but it's like a year in prison and a fine or both. The point is they threaten you hard to make sure that you go to jury duty.
Oh my God.
And it's like, I don't know if this is how much faith I have in the justice system with you're threatening me, a private citizen, for a year to come to jury duty. Anyway, so you end up going and it's like, as comics, we're in this conundrum because it's like, it could be a 3-week trial. It's like, yeah, I cannot serve for 3 weeks. I have road dates. Money is at stake. Flights are booked.
Yeah.
Like all of this stuff matters to me. Like I need this money. So, but they just don't care. There's nobody to call. There's nobody to complain to. So it's like you come and you check in and you just hope that you're not called into the thing. So we're sitting there and we're just waiting. So, but that's like, there's so many funny with emotions and feelings that come through there. And like, how do I get out of this?
Right.
It's like a felony, if you have a felony, you can't serve. It's like, I could sucker punch the bailiff. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a felony. He's a cop. He's like, it's like, and then you start punching that up and crafting it and then going in there. And what really happened is I went in there and they go, we have a jury pool outside. We need to take them first. So instead of holding you here, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Meanwhile, I have to fly out the next day. So I go to the bailiff. I go, hey, I can't come back tomorrow. I'm sorry. I have to fly out. I cannot come back tomorrow. He goes, wait here. He gets a piece of paper and he goes, give this to holding downstairs. They might reissue you another date. They might cut you. So I go, all right. So I go down there. I give it to her. She's like, give me a minute. I'm just sitting there waiting. And she comes back. She's like, see you in 4 years. You're cut.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, oh, thank God. But that whole thing, like the tension of that, like that's, I'll put that on my phone.